Nobody knows exactly what the true grid looks like as well, not for another few minutes. It's the most topsy-turvy event we've had in a long time. One thing we know for certain though, at the home of Ferrari, the Tifosi are happy. It's a Ferrari on pole and Charles Leclerc is trying to lead it to victory. Welcome to the Royal Park Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. Formula One heads to Monza for the last European race of the year, the Italian Grand Prix. So this is our last stop on the European calendar as well before the flyaway begins. 2 weeks time, we're in Singapore, Japan, back to back as well with it. Then a 2-week break before we go over to the United States and Mexico. A further 2 weeks break, and then Brazil and Abu Dhabi round out the 2022 season. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, 109-point advantage. Max Verstappen holds over that of both Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez, who are level on points. George Russell is in 4th now, just ahead of Carlos Sainz in 5th. Lewis Hamilton is closing up on that battle as well in 6th position. He's well clear now of Lando Norris, who's well clear of Esteban Ocon, who is in a battle with his teammate Fernando Alonso, and Valtteri Bottas at Alfa Romeo, rounding out the top 10. The second half of the page sees Kevin Magnussen 2 points clear of Sebastian Vettel, a point clear of Daniel Ricciardo, who's a point clear of Pierre Gasly. Further back in 15th as well, Mick Schumacher's on 12 points, battling Yuki Tsunoda's on 11, 5 points apiece for Zhou Guanyu and Lance Stroll, 4 points for Alexander Albon, still no points for Nicholas Latifi, and Nico Hulkenberg only completing 2 races at the start of the year. In the Constructor Championship, Red Bull now have a massive lead in the championship, 511 points to Ferrari's 376. Mercedes are only 30 points back. They are closing them down in 3rd position. Alpine are in a battle on their own as well. McLaren 24 points back from them, but they are 50 clear exactly of Alfa Romeo in 6th position, who are in a battle with Haas and AlphaTauri. Joining that battle last time out though, Aston Martin with Stroll getting points. Williams are 10th with 4 points, all coming the way from Alexander Albon. Sunday is race day here at Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. Okay, let's take a look at what happened in qualifying, and afterwards we'll cross over for the Pit Lane Open and the muted pre-race ceremonies. Two minutes to go then here in qualifying number 1, and as Josh just said, we have got a mega pack heading out there as well. Alonso down are all out on the track as well. Russell's headed back out there to try and give a tow to Lewis Hamilton, but...
Okay, push past these guys if you can. Yeah. You've got De Vries behind, we want to stay ahead of him. You've got Gasly, Zhou, Bottas ahead, and then Sebastian.
That's Stroll being told, push by these guys if you can, and he's done so. Stroll is coming back through as well. Vettel starts the lap, he's got Bottas behind him as well. Zhou, Gasly too, as they all enter turn number 1. This is going to be a very entertaining last few minutes of qualifying to just hopefully see what's going to happen. Is it going to be a bigger problem? Is it not going to be a bigger problem? Who's going to be where? I'm tremendously excited about what we're about to see in qualifying as they come back through. Vettel's doing well, okay. All looking good to me as they come through. Vettel's 4 tenths up at the moment as well. 1 minute to go in qualifying 2. And so far, Vettel's out on the circuit. Bottas in 17th position as well. Russell 5th. They're all going out there, Josh, on brand new soft compound tyres as well. So they're all burning up a set. And they're all going to try and give each other the tow back down. But no Monza 2019 happening at the moment.
Yeah, Monza 2019 was something.
Used.
That's Russell asking if Lewis is on new tyres or used. He says used. Yes, he is. 4 lap old softs, blimey. So that's going to be something. Yeah, very surprised that Hamilton's gone out there. Alonso too, actually, on 4 lap old softs. So they haven't even bothered to go on brand new tyres. They're all out there on the old set. Okay, Vettel then, first driver to cross the line. What lap time is he going to do? He's 20th and last at the moment as well. Does go 14th, a 1:22.636, but knocked out immediately as well, puts in the drop zone. Bottas goes 11th, Zhou's behind him, goes 6th. Gasly's as a checker flag falls. Gasly meets it. He goes P7, a 1:22.017. Latifi's at risk of being kicked out. Stroll next to cross the line, only goes 17th. De Vries, can he improve on the lap time across the line? It goes 12th, 1:22.176. His first qualifying in Formula 1. De Vries might be safely through. Alonso next up, he's P9. Should be okay, is okay. Ricciardo's 18th at the moment. Is he going to be kicked out of qualifying? Is he hurtles down? Hamilton goes 9th. Latifi's now on the risk as well. Hamilton definitely through to the next part of qualifying. De Vries 13th. Here comes Danny Ricciardo, 18th at the moment. Can he get through to the next part of qualifying? McLaren have not towed him and he's done it. He goes 12th on a 1:22.139. De Vries 14th. Magnussen only 18th. Vettel has already done a lap time. It's Latifi and Schumacher are waiting for as well to come across the line. Latifi has backed off his lap time as well and won't do anything. And I think as well the same can be said for that of Schumacher. Vettel.
Yes, De Vries.
Yeah, De Vries has done it. In his first qualifying as Latifi pit, Stroll goes 18th. Vettel's already done it. In his first qualifying in Formula 1, it's Nick De Vries who goes through to the next part of qualifying. And more importantly for Formula 1, he beats Nicholas Latifi. As Schumacher has a big lock-up down at turn 1, but De Vries goes through, Latifi doesn't. Wow.
Okay, that's P17, I'm afraid we're out. Both cars out, I'm afraid.
That's Lance Stroll on the radio. So, out of qualifying, Latifi, Vettel, Stroll, Magnussen and Schumacher. 2 minutes to go in qualifying number 2. And now in the drop zone, we see Bottas, De Vries, Zhou, Ricciardo, Tsunoda. And everybody else now heading out the track, bar the top 4 and Tsunoda. So I think Tsunoda, who's already got that back of the grid penalty, he's not going to bother going out in this next part of qualifying as well. And look at that, the 2 McLarens. Right behind them is the 2 Alpines as well. So they're all just mega on it as well. As Tsunoda does get out of the car. He hasn't even left the pit lane in this session as well. So that's him done for the day. Wise, actually, considering that.
It really is.
Yeah, he's going to start last anyway.
No point going out in qualifying if you have a back of the grid or a significant grid penalty, and that's right for Tsunoda to do, because then it gives other drivers who do not have grid penalties, but Tsunoda normally gets eliminated in Q2 anyways. The projected knockout time for Q2 is a 1:21.9. De Vries will be the first to cross the line to start a lap time, followed by the 2 Alfa Romeos and Mercedes behind.
So, battle on then as well for the last minute of qualifying 2 as they hurtle back down the straight. De Vries opens up his DRS as well, and he's 12th at the moment, but he's not that far away from getting into the top 10. And if he does qualify 12th, with the grid penalties applied for Hamilton and for Ocon, he'll start 8th. So there's every chance here that De Vries can move up the order. And everybody's now willing him on. He's a Formula E world champion.
He's jumping and
he's locked
destroying
the
the
rear.
walls.
He's locked the rear, coming into Della Roggia, and the lap time's gone. Oh, well, Josh, that's a curse to the commentator for you. That's the first one you've done. Coming into Della Roggia, he locks the rears and goes straight on.
And I am now going to walk out the commentary box and act like nothing happened.
De Vries as well. He's now going to start at best 10th on the grid, so that is fantastic news for him.
Good.
That's brilliant. Top 10 equals what Latifi did. Here we go then. Bottas is up by a couple of tenths of a second as well. Zhou's down on time. Norris is the driver at risk as well as they come through. That's going to be close. The checker flag's out. First driver to meet it's coming now. It's going to be Valtteri Bottas. Right. Here we go. Bottas across the line. Is he any good as well? Can he find the time? He takes the checkered flag. Valtteri Bottas. Does he get through? No! He's 44 thousandths out. Zhou doesn't either. He's 5 tenths down. Gasly's 8th at the moment, so it's down to De Vries. Well, De Vries is, and then it's going to be Ricciardo. So Ricciardo can only spoil De Vries' day. Gasly goes 8th. Ricciardo crosses the line now. And Ricciardo, does he? He does! He does! 8th for Ricciardo. 1:21. Brilliant from a Danny Rick. He gets through. Alonso goes 9th. Gasly 10th. Ocon 11th. So at best, De Vries starts this race. Let's see, Verstappen 5 places. That's not going to count out for anything. Hamilton gets counted. And Ocon, so 2 places up. De Vries starts 10th on the grid. That's
Not
amazing.
bad.
He equals the record of Nicolas Latifi for best grid. That is amazing from a driver who's had an hour in the Aston Martin and only 20 minutes in the Williams here today. And it all cost him down here at the chicane. Braked, locked the rear, and went on straight on. But he could have made the apex, but that wasn't his fault.
Yeah, sorry about that. I locked up the rears into turn 4.
So, in out of qualifying number 2, we see Ocon, Bottas, De Vries, Zhou, and Tsunoda. And the green light goes on, and qualifying 3 is underway here for the 2022 Italian Grand Prix. 12 minutes, 10 cars going out there, but a number of them have back of the grid starts. Carlos Sainz, your top Q2, is at the back of the grid. Max Verstappen has a 5-place grid penalty. Lewis Hamilton has a back of the grid as well. So, pole position would naturally assume it would. Oh, and Perez got a grid penalty as well of 10 places as well. So that means that De Vries actually jumps up the order to start 8th on the grid. So make of that what you will. But Sainz has got a back of the grid start. Verstappen's got a 5-place grid penalty. Perez has got a 10-place grid penalty. Hamilton has a back of the grid start as well. So 4 of the 10 drivers in this session, Josh, with penalties. The grid is going to change dramatically, but that means it will be Leclerc on pole with Russell P2. That's if that order from Q2 stands.
Yeah, like last week in Zandvoort, penalty, stupid. And there is the chairman of Ferrari there in the back of the Ferrari garage as it is their home race. But cars are heading out, I believe. Yes, they are. Fernando Alonso still in the garage. But as we await for more track action, there is Lando Norris.
We're just sort of waiting, aren't we now? It's really weird.
Yeah, there's just a... And there we go. All of the fans get taken off Lando Norris's car.
They've all waited 2 minutes to see if anyone will go out on the track first, and now they're going to have to run into their own run plan. So everyone's going to leave the track now, otherwise it's just not going to work.
No, it isn't. 10 minutes remaining. Lando Norris gets lowered, tyre wraps off, and out of the garage for Lando Norris, which will likely, and it looks like it is, perform a chain and train of all of the other drivers. Sergio Perez coming out of the garage now with Antonio Perez Garibay in the back of the garage, and a yellow Ferrari flag.
I was wondering what that was.
In the right. I thought it was a yellow flag there,
that
but it's
caught my
up
eye.
in the garage. Here comes everyone out of the pit lane.
And they're in a specific order.
Q3.
2 McLarens gone out together. 2 Ferraris have gone out together. 2 Red Bulls have gone out together. Mercedes have backed up a little bit as well. And Alonso and Gasly have gone out together, so they're going to teammate with each other as well. Norris has now actually dropped Ricciardo coming through. This is the qualifying form for Max Verstappen. Pole in Austria, 2nd in France, 10th in Hungary, but then poles in both Belgium and the Netherlands as well, as Sainz goes ahead of Leclerc, and the Red Bull of Perez as well is just trying to break up the 2 Ferraris as well, because Leclerc, don't forget, no, he's done it. Look, Perez goes to the inside and gets ahead of Sainz. Now remember, Sainz and Perez have grid penalties the same as Verstappen, so Red Bull want to stop any opportunity for Leclerc getting pole position, although Perez has now got in front of the 2 Ferraris, so Perez is now going to give a tow to Leclerc, and Max is going to get a tow off Sainz, it seems, who's Sainz going to tow around Leclerc. Well, Ferrari's strategy department is a bit bonkers there, because Sainz starts at the back of the grid. Surely you would let Sainz tow Leclerc, not that way round, because that doesn't work.
Positive on these tyres.
Not bonkers.
Well, this is ludicrous. Ferrari, get yourselves in order. Down the back straightaway, Sainz should be ahead of Leclerc. Sainz should tow Leclerc. And Perez should tow Verstappen. Perez has a 10-place grid penalty. Verstappen only has a 5. So, this is weird. Norris will tow Alonso, he'll tow Ricciardo as well, he'll tow Gasly, and this is all just insane. They're all in a mess. Well, they're all
really
going.
is.
Yeah. Here we go.
Will Verstappen as Leclerc starts the lap time 214 miles per hour through the speed trap, 213 miles per hour, 343 kilometers an hour, and Verstappen could beat the streak of 4 poles earlier this season from Leclerc if he gets a pole here and in Singapore in a couple of weeks' time.
And look at that, Leclerc's first sector time was purple, but it was immediately beaten by Carlos Sainz as well. So this idea of Ferraris is not working. Verstappen was slow of all, so Sainz might get pole position here, and I know Leclerc might go second and it might not matter, but this is a ludicrous thing to do. Because the pole position doesn't mean that you start ahead of everybody else who got a penalty. The penalties are decided upon when you receive them. So the first one to get a penalty will start the most higher up. So Tsunoda was announced, then it was Hamilton. So Hamilton starts behind Tsunoda, that sort of thing. So Tsunoda gets moved up the grid. Ironically, higher than where he qualified in 15th place, which is the way it works. But it's going to be a bit odd. Anyway, time's clear the board. Norris goes faster. Then it's Perez. Norris, Ricciardo, Gasly, Perez. Across the line comes Leclerc. He goes provisional pole position. Carlos Sainz goes provisional pole. 120.584. Now watch Verstappen, who's fastest of all in the 2 sectors. Verstappen can only go 3rd. That's what having no toe does. Here comes Hamilton. Hamilton only 6th. Russell's getting the toe. Mercedes have done it right. And it's Russell 5th. So it's Leclerc pole, Russell 2nd, Norris 3rd, Ricciardo 4th, Gasly 5th, and Alonso 6th, as things stand. Because of the times, you've got to remember with the penalties.
Yeah, it looks like Alonso started a lap time but aborted it and went into the pit lane. Likely now going to be waiting until the final runs commence. Christian Horner on the Red Bull pit wall. And very surprising that we're actually not hearing him from this weekend, as it's Sky's person of choice normally.
I've heard from him for a while, haven't we, actually?
Going through Lesmo 2.
Well, Sky Italia have got Mattia Binotto on their pit wall this weekend, being their home race, so we haven't got him, unfortunately. But I believe in Singapore we will be hearing from him as well.
Correct, Alonso boxed.
That was, I think, Ricciardo saying, did Alonso box? And yes, he did. Max Verstappen only 3rd then, with a 10-place grid penalty, means he starts 17th on the board with 17 pole positions in his career. 10-place grid penalties, 3rd, starts 13th. Russell will take 2nd. Here's Russell Radio.
Tires again, are just nowhere, sliding everywhere.
If Russell's sliding, I reckon he's got more pace. Russell might be the surprise of the session here and just grab pole position without anybody even thinking he could. So that's going to be entertaining. Very, very, very entertaining as it comes through. Sainz then has put on the jacks and taken back into the pit lane. 4 minutes 23 to go. It's going to be a very quick turnaround for these guys. I'll go out there with 2 minutes to go. And then we'll get through. So a 2-minute turnaround as well.
Tires again, are just nowhere, sliding everywhere.
Yeah, fuel having to go in and everything. So this is going to get very entertaining. Matthew, Little Owl says, Matthew, correct. Yeah, Verstappen's a 5-place grid penalty, doesn't he? Oh, yeah, sorry, 5. It's Perez who's got the 10. It's my brain not working quickly. So many penalties to try and keep up with, and it's hard to remember who's where when you're live, because you're getting so many things in your ears. So, Ted.
Felt no grip, not enough grip in the front tyres, and wasn't going to improve, so came in at the end of that lap rather than actually completing it. And just a thought that they might actually run in the gap now, just to avoid traffic or potentially any yellow flags, Crofty, that other people cause ruining laps at the last attempt.
Cheers, Ted. 3 minutes 20 to go. Here's how the grid looks so far as well. No penalties in the F3 race, by the way, says the Little Owl. Hopefully remains the same for F2. Right, Alonso's going out there as well. So is Sergio Perez. They're going out together, it looks like, as well, out the pit lane. That's a wise decision to take if they can improve up the field. cars begin to stream out the pit lane now. And here comes Max Verstappen, and away he goes as well. Anybody else going to dart in front of him? No, it doesn't seem so. This is going to be a fun session. Hold on to your hats, everyone. Coming now, 2:40 to go. Go on, Josh.
To do it.
Hold on to your
That's
hats.
fun.
Ah, Miranda. And actually, Miranda's mother, Patricia, was born in Grimsby. Little thing there. As I've just been Synthil sent me something now from F2 as well in an Instagram message as well. Presumably that's for later on as well. So,
Okay, DR, we have plenty of time this time, plenty of time.
2 minutes to go then in qualifying number 3. Sainz, Leclerc, Verstappen, Perez, Russell, Norris, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Gasly, Alonso is the top 10 as it stands. But with that, it would put Leclerc on pole with Russell second, Norris third, fourth for Ricciardo, fifth for Gasly, and sixth for Alonso, due to the penalties for new engine changes out there on the circuit. So it's not over yet, not by a long shot, and we are in for a very entertaining session. Can Charles Leclerc take pole position number 17 of his career to match Max Verstappen? Previous poles here at Monza: 2021 Verstappen, 2020 Hamilton, 2019 Leclerc, 2018 Raikkonen, 2017 was Hamilton. Well, it's Hamilton and Leclerc who are the few
So 4 cars ahead between yourself
start there
and
for pole position, take the win. As we come through the last corner. Go on, Josh.
For Max Verstappen in the books, the first duplicated pole position since Lewis Hamilton in 2017, so quite a while since the last duplicated pole position. But of course, the 5-place grid penalty will drop him down 5 places. Leclerc goes through the chicane.
Now comes round.
Turn 1 and 2, and now the Curva Grande, Josh.
Yeah, it looks okay to me so far. This is the braking zone. That gets everyone a bit tricky. He's not being towed. He's 12 thousandths off the pace of Sainz, and Sainz is actually ahead of Norris. So Ferrari's strategy has been absolutely abysmal once again. At a circuit which relies on the tow, they haven't given it to Leclerc. Now whether Sainz will back off on the lap and tow Leclerc down towards Parabolica, I'm not sure, but it's all going wrong. Now Verstappen's first sector time isn't any better. Leclerc's second sector time with the DRS open. He's good in the middle sectors as well, through the mini sectors, and he's 3 tenths up on Sainz as well. And listen to the cheer from the Tifosi as they saw that it could be Leclerc's pole position. The checkered flag is out. Qualifying is over. Verstappen is also up in the middle sector. He's got a 10th quicker. Who's going to take pole at Monza? Who will line up on pole position tomorrow? Sainz crosses the line, and Sainz takes it. 1:24.29. Norris goes 6th. Cross the line. Leclerc goes pole. 1:21.61. But is it overall pole? What's happened to Max Verstappen? To the line. Is it overall pole for Max Verstappen or Charles Leclerc? Leclerc's on pole at Monza. And listen to the cheer from the Tifosi. It's an outright pole position for Ferrari in the heart of Italy, in the heart of Monza. It's a 1:21.61. Verstappen second, Sainz is third, Perez fourth, Hamilton fifth. But the front row tomorrow will see Leclerc on pole, George Russell starts second, Lando Norris is third, Danny Ricciardo.
Well, they call Monza the Temple of Speed. I tell you why, the average speed around here, at least in qualifying, was 260 kilometers an hour. 161 miles an hour average speed. That's mind-boggling when you consider how slow they're going through the chicanes here. The average speed 161 miles an hour. So it's incredibly quick round here. It's also a very quick race. So the Ferrari choosing not to do a practice start at this point. That's interesting. Let's see if Charles Leclerc, who clearly has to win this Grand Prix. Yes, Max Verstappen is in the fastest car, but Charles Leclerc starting on pole position has to win for Ferrari's honour as much as everything else. But he'll have to watch out for some fast cars coming up from behind. Starting from the back, Lewis Hamilton coming up from behind. There is George Russell, who's going to be starting on the front row. But Lewis Hamilton, Carlos Sainz, and then Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen from 10th and 7th respectively. But as for the fastest way to run this race, well, you lose 24 seconds going through the pit lane because everybody else is going so fast, almost 200 miles an hour on that main start-finish straight. So that means it's absolutely a one-stop. A two-stop is the slowest race time. So a one-stop is the best strategy, and you can either start on the soft tyre, pit around lap 15 or 18, something like that, and then put the hard tyre on and go to the end. Or if you want to extend your first stint, start on the medium tyre, wait till about lap 20, something like that, and then put the hard tyre on and go to the end. But what about Sergio Perez and what about Lewis Hamilton? Anything's possible. David Croft, you're a man who loves the statistics. Tell us the good one about Fernando Alonso today.
A good one about Fernando Alonso?
Fernando Alonso becoming the most experienced Grand Prix driver, or equaling that record today with Kimi Raikkonen.
That's exactly what I was going to tell you. 349 Grand Prix starts today for Fernando Alonso. He is the holder of the all-time laps raced and all-time kilometres raced in Formula One, and equals now the Grand Prix starts record along with Kimi Raikkonen. And Fernando Alonso, one of 4 former winners of the Italian Grand Prix who start in the top 6, along with Pierre Gasly and Daniel Ricciardo and Charles Leclerc, who starts on pole then for the 2nd time here at Monza, and starts on pole for the 8th time for Ferrari this season. First Ferrari driver to do so since Michael Schumacher in 2004. However, the bookmakers' favourite still remains Max Verstappen. Now, so far this season, he's won from pole, 14th, 10th, 2nd, 3rd and 4th this year. So a win from 7th today would be his 7th different starting position for victory in 2022. And there is the Red Bull out on the track. He lines up on an all-Dutch World Champions 4th row alongside Nick de Vries, who becomes today the first driver to make his debut at Monza since Thomas Enger and Alex Young in 2001. And he's the first driver to officially drive for 2 different constructors at the same race meeting since Harold Ertl failed to pre-qualify an Ensign and then failed to qualify an ATS here in Monza in 1978. You know, I love my statistics. Nick, of course, drove in practice for Aston Martin. He was called up by Williams when he was having a coffee in the Mercedes motorhome on Saturday morning. Good luck to him as he replaces Alex Albon, and get well soon, Alex, as he recovers from a bout of appendicitis.
Absolutely, thank you very much, guys down there as well. Let's bring Josh into the picture now as well, to everybody listening in on USRN as well, and now in vision again on YouTube. Hello everyone, sorry, for some reason OBS crashed massively and we had to restart the OBS, but it didn't affect you listening on USRN as well, and it didn't affect you watching as well on YouTube. Welcome then, a special hour build-up as well, back to our normal build-up for the Grand Prix has become the regular as well, ever since people were asking, don't go on here at half past the hour and then we only have 5 minutes of you live. Go on at the top of the hour and do the whole thing as well. And now that the season's starting to get a little bit less and less, I'm more than happy to oblige as Lewis Hamilton as well and George Russell make their way out. George Russell starting this race as well from 2nd place on the grid. It's an all McLaren 2nd row as well. The grid penalties though, Josh, were an absolute joke as well. I've got them highlighted, I've got them informed me up in the commentary box on the monitor, but honestly, from 13th down, having penalties, it was an absolute nightmare to try and decipher the grid. But once you actually sat down and looked at it, I can't work out why it took them so long, because it's simple how you literally apply the grid penalties and you add grid positions into it. So say we know that Kevin Magnussen, he has a 15-place grid penalty. Wherever he qualified, you add 15 places back, and if that happens to be 27th place, then that's where he is, until you then move everybody else around and then move the grid up into what order they are. So I don't know why it took them so long, to be fair, because I worked it out last night while I was having my curry, my chicken curry. So I don't know about you. Good afternoon, Josh.
Good afternoon. Please do not get me started on grid penalties.
I know, it's a nightmare.
Way too many grid penalties, like last week at Zandvoort.
I'll tell you one thing as well, the Aston Martin mechanics just down there on the grid were having a little bit of a function as well, because they just had their the dry ice was being blown in between them. Okay, Felipe Massa, former Ferrari driver, is talking down on the grid. Then we'll get back to Josh.
Full to capacity again, over 330,000 here this weekend, and they've got Ferrari on pole.
Wow, it's a great pleasure to be here in Monza. A special place, especially I remember, all the time by me, Ferrari. 350,000 people here to support Ferrari, to support Charles, especially starting on pole position. You need to jump out of the car, looking for the people, having an extra power, and enjoy. This is the most important thing for this race that Charles needs to have. And I think he has a little opportunity. Not a big opportunity, but a good opportunity, to try to win here, especially in front of these amazing people here in Monza.
You were there for many years and put our friends in the Ferrari motorhome over the Italian Grand Prix weekend. Is it extra pressure or not?
Well, the pressure they have during the whole season, especially even more now after everything that happens this season, unfortunately. But when you are in the driver, you need to go in the car and you need to try to have fun. And the pressure is there, especially when you are in Ferrari, you have the pressure. But I think it's a good opportunity to calm down, to show the team we can do it, to show the team we can do a better last part of the season and prepare well next season. And I think a victory can help them a lot, especially here in Monza.
Well, you touched on a victory potentially helping to motivate the team. You were part of what is the most successful team in Formula One. How surprised have you been with some of the mistakes that have happened this year? And how much do they need to redeem themselves here today?
For sure, I'm surprised for everything that happens. Unfortunately, it didn't work so well. Many races, many mistakes, a technical problem. Even the drivers, they made some mistakes as well. So the most important thing for that is to calm down, is to put the team working the right way, understanding what didn't work. For sure, they're taking a little bit too much to understand that, but it didn't finish. I mean, I think if you just look back, it will not work. You need to work close with the team to make things work in the right way, and then for sure things can be much better. Martin, I mean, how it is, the job together with the team, and I believe that. I think, everything that happens, it was too much, but now is the time to, concentrate and fix the problems.
Do they still ask you, would they approach you as a former winner for them and driver for them for advice or opinion?
Yeah, for sure I have a great relationship with them. Only try to give you my opinion, you are not inside there, you cannot really criticize if you're not watching exactly everything that happens. But I mean, for sure I gave some opinions to Binotto. Even yesterday we have a nice shot here to the team, and concentrate, fix the problem, and carry on, because that's the most important thing.
Felipe, you know Matteo well. He's part of the furniture at Maranello. He's been there for 25 years. We've touched on the fact that he is under pressure. But if you were the chairman, if you were John Elkann, for example, is it stability that Ferrari need right now, or does he need help?
When you have a problem, a lot of mistakes, a lot of things that happens this year, the stability is not there for the moment. But you need to create the stability. You need to work to fix little issues that, because it was not only one problem in one way. It's not only the strategy. It was the technical side. It was the drivers. It was the pit stop. You have so many problems. So it's so many things that you need to fix. And the stability, now we don't see so much in Ferrari. But I believe they can work out, and I believe they can fix it.
Okay, Felipe, pleasure. Thanks.
Felipe Massa down there as well on the grid as Josh, the party atmosphere really does begin to build up, doesn't it, as well, as the music starts to get going as well and the anticipation starts to rise. What are you most looking forward to in this Grand Prix then as well, as we just see an onboard of Charles Leclerc on the way to the grid?
Check the bottoming level, it seems to be quite a bit higher than normal.
We are checking it.
And that was Charles Leclerc on the way to the grid, so the propulsing level was a little bit out of sequence as well. And I'll tell you what, Joshua, that's not going to be too much of a worry. He does start on pole position, but it's all eyes up front, really, isn't it, if it does cause something throughout the race.
It really is, and the amount of sparks that was created by that. Are we going down?
No, we're not going down. We're staying up here. Just to talk about it a little bit more, because Martin's grid walk will be coming up, I think, soon as well. I don't know if Martin is doing a grid walk or not, because it's now past and he's on the grid talking. So They're just talking to Jos Capito down there as well. But yeah, coming into this one as well, as we're seeing Nick de Vries as well, an all-Dutch fourth row of the grid, an all-Dutch world champion front row of the grid, as you heard David Croft talk about as well. Nick de Vries was the first ever Dutch FIA world champion. He did that last season as well in Berlin in August when he took the FIA Formula E Championship, and now Max Verstappen took the Formula 1 Championship last year in Abu Dhabi at the end of the year. So it's nice to see de Vries that high up in a Williams as well.
Yeah, it really, really is. And de Vries, because of the penalties,
qualified
in
15th
front
yeah.
of Latifi.
0.069 or something like that as well was the difference as well for de Vries, and honestly Latifi was do you reckon his seat's gone now at Formula 1? It looks like it's not going to be happening, but rumours circulate this morning that Nick de Vries might not even be his replacement, because de Vries might go to Alpine and take over the seat by Alonso. Jack Doohan's been thrown into the mix as well this morning. There's so much anticipation about what could happen. Nobody actually really knows the truth.
I would like to see Jack Doohan in Formula 1, actually, an Alpine Academy driver.
Absolutely, bang on with you. I'm with you, absolutely.
Yeah, it would be great to see a new rookie, especially Jack Doohan, Mick Doohan being his father, and that would just be a great boost.
I certainly think Australia would love it.
Yes,
I think that's
they
something
really
certain.
would,
Yeah.
because Daniel Ricciardo's leaving McLaren at the end of the year, and if he doesn't get a spot in Formula 1 for 2023, then there'll be no Australian driver on the grid.
19-year-old, yeah. Well, Oscar
Jack
Piastri.
Doohan.
Hang on, Oscar Piastri is Australian. He's on the grid.
Oh yes,
No,
Oscar
I
Piastri.
forgot about it, but that's two Australians. Yeah.
Replaced by Australian.
What if Ricciardo goes to Haas and Schumacher goes out? That's 3 Australians on the grid. That's the most they've ever had in Formula 1. That'd be insane.
That would be great, to be honest. That would
boost, yeah.
That would really boost the love for the sport in Australia, I think.
Well,
and,
we do.
hello to all of you crazy Australians listening at whatever time it is now.
Felipe Massa in the paddock once again says SHT, completely correct as well. As I don't know if Martin's going to go on his grid walk, but we've got something coming up at the moment as well. As let's hear from Nick de Vries. He's with Ted.
Well, Nick, fantastic performance in qualifying. Tell me, are you comfortable in the car now? I believe they've changed some seatbelt positioning points overnight.
The lap belt seems to stretch out a little bit, even though I have a small belly. But we need to tighten that a little bit more. I had some bruises on my shoulders, but yeah, I think once we get going, I won't feel anything anymore.
Great stuff. And are you just going to enjoy it down there? I mean, you're no stranger to these circuits, no stranger to these cars, no stranger to racing. You just got to enjoy it today and see what happens.
Exactly that. Although, you know, it is a surrealistic experience. Just being here is great, but now we got to focus on the job.
It's not surreal. It's just like any other race, okay? It's just like any other race.
Cheers. Thank you.
Ted there reassuring the one and only Formula E driver to be promoted up into this sport. Gwenwyn just asked as well, why 3 Aussies as well? Well, it's 3 Aussies as well because it was Piastri and Doohan and Ricciardo. Anyway, let's hear from Charles Leclerc. He was talking yesterday at the Skypad with Corinne Channock.
I couldn't, but yeah, I could definitely hear it once the engine was off. I could see it also because everybody was standing up at the end of the lap, so I guess that was a good sign.
So let's take a look at the lap, because a pole position at Ferrari's home ground has got to be extra special for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a really good lap, to be honest. Compared to the previous one, was a huge step forward. I was a bit worried about this turn 1 too, because it's very tricky with the front locking and with this curb, because we get quite a lot of oscillations out of it in qualifying.
That's interesting, because you stayed further outside that curb than some other people.
I tried for this lap because I struggled too much in the laps before with this oscillation. So on that we need to work on. It wasn't great, but after that it was a really good lap.
Now there's no car in front of you, I could see, for the tow. Why was that? Because we all thought with Carlos's penalty, surely the team will use him to tow you around.
But I don't know, because I was saying that in a press conference, but nobody, well, I don't think everybody agreed with me, but I think that if Max was behind me and Carlos, Max will have start 8th and not 7th, I think. So that's why we went for both the fastest lap, and we also were quite confident that we had the pace in the car to make it stick in a normal
clearly you were right.
So that was good.
Talk to me about the second chicane, because for me, I'm going to slow it down because I thought your judgment on the braking was superb. Just watch the front tire, a little bit of under rotation.
Here it's very, very tricky with the under rotation and with the oversteer when you get down of the curb.
And I'm going to ask people to just watch your hands because it's so quick and precise with the other apex. I mean, you must have a lot of confidence in the rotation of the car there.
Yes, I had, but yeah, I mean the car was feeling great today, so that's why the confidence was there. This is a very tricky corner for us because we had a lot of front washouts in mid corner, which I hate. Yeah, and on this lap I had a bit too much.
Right.
And that's why I missed a little bit the apex.
And what about Lesmo too? Because actually we compared it with Max earlier and you lost time to Max in the two Lesmos.
Yeah, they have a bit more downforce than we do, so I think we expected that. And the second Lesmo, I was really scared about the track limit, so I stayed a bit more in the inside.
Now the compliance for your car on the curb here looks so good. You come off the curb. I mean, for me, Ascari is one of the great challenges of this track because you got to get the line so right. How was it on the lap?
Yeah, it was. So the curb, our car is very good on curbs this weekend, but then in turn 9 and 10, the rear was really, really tricky to deal with. But at the end, I managed to make it flat, and then a very good last corner, also releasing the brakes. Had a bit of snaps, but wasn't off.
And you're pretty safe.
I was. I don't really like this stuff. I said it in the driver's briefing, but this, how do you say that?
The drain, yeah, the drain over there.
The drain. It's very low grip, so I wanted to stay inside of it.
Well, clearly you know something that nobody else does, and it worked for you. Talk to us about the race, because we saw in Spa, on a low downforce track, not quite as low as here, that Max was able to come through the pack quite quickly. Are you concerned about that tomorrow?
I think Max and Red Bull were on another planet in Spa, and we were just really, really struggling with the feeling with the car. Since FP1, it's been a completely different weekend here. We've been working a lot after Spa to understand exactly what we did wrong, and I think we came up with quite a lot of different answers that we apply here, and hopefully for us we are in a much better position. So the feeling is good going into the race tomorrow. I'm sure that Max will come back very quickly to fight for us with pole position, but it will be a very bad surprise if he passes us like he did in Spa and pull away.
Well, listen, I was here in 2019 under the podium when you won, and if we get a repeat of that, the crowd are going to go wild. Good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thanks.
Thanks to Karun there as well, who gave a handshake as well to Charles Leclerc, and he's out there on the grid now as well, just getting ready for today's race as well. A lot of action, a lot of anticipation. Now, also, just to remind you as well, there will be a minute's silence at 43 minutes past the hour for Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Let's hear now from Christine Horner, who's down there on the grid with Martin.
Penalty in mind, more on the race, so let's see if that works, or I think they'll have a very quick race car as well, so it's going to be tough to catch them today.
I'm going to guess at strategy, Christian. I'm going to say you're going to have a medium on the car and you're going to go long and then do a late stop, and the rest of them will be on soft tyres. Am I right?
Yeah, well, it's a good job you don't do our strategy, that's all I say. Look, wait and see. You'll see when the covers come off. You haven't got too long to wait now.
Okay, well, strategy aside, I'm sure you guys have done loads of simulations. What does your calculator say? How long will it take Max to get to the front?
Well, look, first of all, you've got to survive the first two chicanes. I mean, that's always a worry at this circuit. It's a funnel effect into those first two corners. So I think subject to us surviving that first lap, then hopefully he can make progress. But of course, every lap he loses to Charles, that's just going to put a bigger gap between the two of them. So you've got to be efficient without killing your tires at the same time.
We know, I mean, Max is not one to ever be defensive, but I don't know what you've thought about his development as a driver from last year to this. He can afford to be patient a little bit today. He doesn't need to get himself entangled in anything at the start. Has that been the messaging to him, or do you not need to say that?
I think he's demonstrated that already this year, that he's driving with tremendous maturity. So, we don't need to win this race. We just need to make sure that we take decent points out of it.
Christian Horner there talking down on the field as well, all getting set then. And I think, Josh, as well, Max Verstappen stands a very, very good chance of getting a race win here today. He's still the bookies' favourite. Even though he starts 7th on the grid, we've seen him come from 10th in Hungary to win, and he spun it there as well. Monza is a fast track as well. He's in a Red Bull, the best car of the season. How long is it realistically going to take him until he's at the front?
Well, it was 12 laps in Spa.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, 12 laps in Spa. That's how long it took to get him to the front, yep.
And I can't remember how many laps it was in Zandvoort.
From Zandvoort, he took the lead quite early, didn't he? I thought he already had pole from Zandvoort. No, who had pole in Zandvoort? I think it was Verstappen. Don't think he had a penalty back there.
Verstappen did have pole.
Yeah. So it didn't take that long. Sylvester Stallone is on the grid in Monza as well. He's just down there. Oh, what a shame Martin's not doing a grid walk today as well, out of respect to Her Majesty the Queen, and it is His Majesty the King. There you go. See, that's how much I've already been adapting in the past 24 hours.
Probably going to do something stupid like that when I'm commentating on the funeral on Monday.
Good luck with that. I just saw that this morning. Yeah, very good luck with that as well, commentating on the funeral as well. I'm
still trying to get over that I've been asked, to be honest.
Well, to be fair, I'm not. You're a great commentator as well, and you've got the voice for it as well. And that won't be this Monday. It'll be the Monday after, and of course, when it as well on the 19th, which is a bank holiday as well here in the UK. Okay then, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the minute's silence as well, in respect to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, who reigned over the monarch of the UK, Great Britain, Northern Ireland and the rest of the Commonwealth as well for over 70 years as well. She passed away on Thursday as well. Formula One went into mourning as well, like the rest of the world, and now Formula One will pay tribute to her with a minute's silence down there on the grid.
Could hear a pin drop here in Monza.
Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, who passed away on Thursday. And now, a bit more uplifting as well. Perhaps one of the best national anthems of the season. It's the Italian national anthem for Ferrari. Taking a little bit extra time for it to start as well. I believe there is a problem with the musical system. And here we go. The Italian national anthem now is taking part. Well, Andrea Bocelli. The best national anthem, certainly of the year, the Italian national anthem as well. We are a few moments away from the start of the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza. I've crossed up to the commentary box as well with the headsets and everything, getting ready. As I tell you what, Josh, as well, the atmosphere was a weird one, but not a single pin could be heard there, as we heard for the minute silence there as well. Not bad at all.
And just going back, Damon Hill, a possibility, Damon Hill could be Ferrari's strategist.
2 seconds, I just realised something. We've got to throw down to Toto, and then I'll be back. I'll get your opinions, Josh.
P2 is a matter of the penalties, but I think we have a good opportunity from there.
Now, I know Simon mentioned you've got one at the front, one at the back, but you've also kind of got one in the middle in Nick de Vries, who's a big part of your Mercedes family. How impressed are you with his performance this weekend so far?
Yeah, we love Nick. He's been a part of the family for a long time. He's a Formula E world champion, our first. And now, but he has his own wings now. He's flying. And I hope he can continue to show great performance like he did yesterday, which was amazing.
Absolutely.
Looking at the data, Toto, what has George got to do to win this one? Is it possible? Do you think you're thinking in terms of that?
For the first time this year, we weren't really good in the long runs on Friday, which is making you think that we can't compete with Leclerc and Verstappen, but it can be very different today.
We heard over the team radio in practice issues about deployment. Was that a problem of bottoming out for George? He just gave us a little tap as he came past there.
I think that we were really all over the place in our overall car performance this weekend, and I hope it's sorted now on long runs.
Now, I'd like to ask you, we know that your tyre, you've got some issues with getting the heat into the tyres and really optimizing the peak of the tyre, but on a day like today, we know race performance is where you're stronger, and does that have a lot to do also with your tyre degradation in that case then?
Yeah, I think that was always a strong strength of ours in the race, and if we happen to have this today, I think we can compete in the front. Whether it's enough to win, not sure.
Thanks for your time, Toto. Best of luck today. Let's go to the Skypad. Karoo.
Well, we're not on the Skypad at the moment, so we'll head back up to Josh as well to let him finish his point. Sorry about that, Josh. Continue.
Oh, Toto.
Always getting in the way.
Yep, and I don't know what it is, but every single time I tried to talk through practice 1, I got interrupted by Andreas Seidel and Ted in the pit multiple times through practice 2. I got interrupted by Martin, Andreas Seidel and Ted, and then for qualifying I got interrupted by all of them once again. So I don't think Sky Sports want me to talk this weekend, but just the fly past the Frizzi Tricoli. They were at the Royal International Air Tattoo year at RAF Fairford, which if I wanted to, I could drive an hour and a half somewhere that way and I would reach RAF Fairford.
Out of interest as well, just quickly, is your T-feed working? Because I've got nothing open on my side of the T-feed. Up here.
Yes, it's working.
You've got what? You've got names and all that lot?
Yes.
I don't. It says no. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Has it started? I need to get that back on. No, it hasn't. So I need to refresh.
Someone forgot to log in.
No, it's all there. 3, 2, 1, and now you're going to experience some glitches as now it comes in. So I apologise to everyone listening as well.
In case of no risks today, just play it safe. Wait for the race to come to you because of the position you're in right now.
Well, I mean, we don't need to win anymore, but we want to win.
All right, go well. Thanks a lot, Max. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yep.
Now, those of you on USA Rain heard that. Those of you on YouTube didn't. I do apologise for the OBS crash that happened once again. I'm delighted to say, though, it's now fixed. As long as I don't touch the computer for the remainder of the broadcast, all should be fine as well. But there we go.
100 metres away from the computer.
Literally, I'm going to go to battle screen and just leave it like that for the rest of the race because it is going to be making a paddy throughout it as well. Now, the bigger fly pass is happening here with a big jumbo jet. And all the planes around the outside, you can just hear them flying over the start-finish grid as well, baking the track in the green, white and red as well. And there's the yellow of the Ferrari with Carlos Sainz as well. It's a 53 lap race that we are expecting as well. And I'll just ask Josh once again to check the YouTube, check USON. We're on the main USON as well. Make sure all is good. And then we are good to go as well for this race because it's a few moments away. In the commentary box will be myself and Ian Birch will be making appearances as well. Down in race control, there's another strategist reporter. It will be Josh T as well, and we are all set for what's going to be a very entertaining race. Go on, Ted. Go on, Ted. Go on, Josh.
The big jet which flew over Monza was an Airbus A350, and it is currently being tracked by 17,324 people.
Everybody at the circuit then practically on track radar, the tracker radar saying, what was that plane? We need to see it as it comes through, absolutely. So, all going to be good then. I've just launched the Italian Grand Prix live timing as well, so we can hear the team radio being played. Hopefully it won't have too much an effect as well as we get into it. So, predictions. Josh, who do you think is going to win the Italian Grand Prix here today?
If Verstappen doesn't win it, it's going to be shocked.
Yeah,
I'm going to be shocked.
Well, Verstappen can win this race, but Monza in the last couple of years has been a very surprising track. 2019, Charles Leclerc. 2020, Pierre Gasly. 2021 for Daniel Ricciardo. So there is a many different opportunities as to who could be where and who's got the better opportunities as well. Was that you pinging as well back, as I presume it was? Just to make sure. Oh, we're good. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Josh. As we come through, Team Radio just loading in now as well for 53 laps of this race as well. We won't have any of the other driver tracker in terms of what we usually have, which is the telemetry data. That's because for the race as well, it gets a bit sketchy, but we have at least got it up. So if we can go to at any point and we need to, we will. But we've also got the team radio open. Everything else is fully open, all ready to go as well. It should be absolutely cracking. Risk of rain for this session as well is 0%. So stand by for action as well for the Italian Grand Prix as well. And don't forget as well, those of you who like myself and Josh, who have Sky as well, and there's a Sky, what is it? A Sky, what's the new box called?
Q.
Sky Q, thank you. If you have a Sky Q box as well and have 4K like we are, so you can press the red button, watch it in 4K and Ultra HD as well. You can also very well as well watch this race along on Sky Sports main event in Ultra HDR as well. But if you're watching along with us as well and like to sync up, we will be playing the Formula One music as well in the introduction, so you can perfectly sync us up to the beat as well. And then as usual, we'll have the 3, 4, 5 lights out, all that lot as well. So stand by then for action. It's a crazy race. We've got so many drivers with penalties, so many of them out of position. It's time for the Grand Prix of Italy. Formula One heads back to Italy, the home of Ferrari, the home of Alfa Romeo, the home of AlphaTauri. We are back at Monza, the great cathedral of speed. And this circuit, been on the calendar since 1950, only ever missed one Formula One Grand Prix. We are around the Monza Royal Park, and quite fitting as well as this weekend Formula One and the world pays tribute to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And no better way than a blast around the park. Average speeds of 225 miles an hour. It's a flat surface, 12.8 metre elevation change. And here last year, at just the first corner, you can see how wrong you can get it. Ask Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, who mounted each other a year ago. And through the Cœur de Grande as well, on the restart from the safety car, Norris versus Leclerc side by side. Norris went on to finish second in a McLaren 1-2. Ricciardo won that day. At the moment, it's Ricciardo fourth, Norris third. And also last year, Hamilton ran the outside of Norris on lap 14 of the race before, of course, Hamilton would end up in the gravel trap. In terms of tyres, Pirelli have brought the middle range of compounds. It is the white hard C1, then it is the yellow medium C3, and the red soft C4. Tyres, if we need them for wet weather, green intermediate, and blue for the full extreme wet weather tyres. We look above the Royal Park now with live coverage as well. Let's take a look then at how they line up on the starting grid from back to front. The 10th row of the grid sees Yuki Tsunoda starting in the back with a grid penalty of 10 places. Back of the grid in 3 places, he's alongside Lewis Hamilton. Row 9 then sees Carlos Sainz with a grid penalty alongside Mick Schumacher. Row 8 of the grid then sees Kevin Magnussen alongside Valtteri Bottas as well with grid penalties. And then it's 14th for Esteban Ocon and 13th for Sergio Perez on the 7th row of the grid, once again grid penalties. Moving forward, then it's on row 6. Lance Stroll starts 12th and Sebastian Vettel is 11th on the grid. And the 5th row, Nicholas Latifi starts in 10th after qualifying in P16. He's alongside Zhou Guanyu in 9th. Nick de Vries and Max Verstappen make an all-world championship Dutch row number 11 as well. In 8th and 7th, Fernando Alonso set no time in qualifying 3, but still starts in 6th place as well. And it is Fernando Alonso as well coming through out there on the field. Then it's row 2 with Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris. And the opening row, George Russell on second. And listen to the crowd as they see Charles Leclerc on pole position for this Grand Prix. Well, the Ferrari flags are all out there as well. It's clear that he only has to go one way. And first of all, Ian Birch joining me in the commentary box as well. It's going to have to go either Ferrari's way, or can Mercedes with Russell or McLaren with both Lando and Ricciardo play a factor?
The answer will be after turn 3.
Yeah, after the first couple of corners. That's always the big one. Max Verstappen watching on now as well, all getting ready. Starting 7th on the grid after a grid penalty. Thank you very much. After a grid penalty. Do you need a drink, Dad, by the way, while I'm here? No, he said no. As well. Danny Ricciardo now 4th on the grid. He won this race here last year as well. Can he do anything around that position to get up there? Time will tell how much it's going to be. And now let's go down to the pit lane with Josh as well. Josh, and action is coming as well. It's going to be a fantastic race. 53 laps. Verstappen starting on the soft tyres, the same as de Vries, but everybody else starting on the medium compound tyres as well. It's going to be a very entertaining race down towards turn number 1.
Every single year is as the final personnel on the grid get cleared, and the formation lap is a matter of seconds now, only 15 seconds away to the start of the formation lap for the Italian Grand Prix.
And looking at the grid as well, the clock strikes 3 and away we go on the formation lap. And it's Charles Leclerc for the first time since 2019 leading them away off the grid. George Russell is second. Then come the 2 McLarens who won here a year ago as well with a 1-2. Their first race victory since the Brazilian Grand Prix in 2012, and their first 1-2 in a very, very long time. You have to go back to 2010 for their last one as well. Back, I believe, at the Canadian Grand Prix. Now, predicted pit stop strategy as well. I'll let Josh talk you through it.
Yeah, so the quickest one-stopper, soft starting lap 18 to 24 and then onto the hards until the end of the race. As quick as is also a one-stopper, but it's a medium starting lap 23 to 30.
And
then...
Sorry, go on.
And then soft tyres lap 22 to 28, and then to the mediums alternative one stopper, or the Ferrari strategy, start on softs and go on to wets for the end of the race. There have been more Grand Prix at Monza than any other Formula 1 circuit.
They really have as well, and it's only ever missed one as well back in 1980 when Imola took over. But you can see how big this track is. We've got Charles Leclerc already coming through Ascari, and just coming through the Rettifilo was Carlos Sainz as well. The field is massively split up here. It's a short track, 5.7 kilometres. And they just sort of are spread out as well. And we always see a good race here at Monza, don't we, Dad? Last year,
very fast race, usually. If I was Sainz or Hamilton, I would just hold back just a fraction of a second, because their cars are so much more powerful than the ones in front of them. And it's not easy to get past the two Hasses. At the start of the race, you need a bit of a gap to go. I don't think, but you know, they're both talented drivers. Maybe they can make up as far as Perez in the first lap. But yeah, off the initial start, I think both of them will be very, very cautious. I would definitely. I know Christian was saying that his own lads have got to, in Verstappen and Perez, have got to be really careful on that first lap.
Thanks, Josh. See you in a moment. As we'll get the drive tracker working in just a second. At least first lap gives Josh an opportunity to make sure all his systems work. So while he's around in the background, we'll come up on the main camera. You can still see the driver tracker at the bottom. When the race starts, that's when the tracker will start to activate as well. 25 races at Monza have been won from pole position. 40 have been won from the front row. 31 races only have been won from the second row or further back as well. And there's only been 12 occasions where the pole sitter has finished on the podium without winning the Grand Prix, including twice in the past 6 years. They're all lined up on the grid then. The green flag is at the back. The lights are coming on. The engine lights rise. 5 red lights. Action at Monza. It's a good start from Leclerc. It's a better start from Russell, but Lando Norris doesn't get going. Perez and Verstappen have already jumped in. Russell's got the inside down towards turn 1.
Lando's dropping back.
Russell's cut to the outside, and Leclerc's going to lead and forces Russell off the track. Russell has to jump over the curves of the Rettifilio. Is anyone going to make it through? Hamilton's even having to cut the corner. The Tifosi cheer massively as it's Leclerc leading, and there's Sergio Perez already having a battle as Verstappen battles with Gasly. Down to Dalla Roggia we go. It's Lando Norris who's dropped down the order as well. He's having to go around the outside of Fernando Alonso. There's a bit of debris being kicked up further back, but they've, congratulations, made it through safely as Norris defends. Alonso round the outside of the Lesmo. Lando still holds his nerve and keeps on the inside, but Leclerc leads.
Yeah, Leclerc leads. The Tifosi go mad. Russell, he should be all right about that. What did force him off, we'll find out in the replay.
And look at Max Verstappen on the inside of Pierre Gasly, and Gasly lets him through with no problem at all, coming through into Ascari as well. Meantime, further
what a
back,
surprise.
Yeah, Carlos Sainz also just got let through by one of the Haas cars, and that was, I believe, Mick Schumacher, who was further back. The Tifosi cheer like I've never heard them for Leclerc, who was leading this race. He set the fastest first sector, he set the fastest second sector, and he set the fastest third sector as well. He's got the first lap record, but here comes Max Verstappen even without the DRS. He pulls to the inside line, and who had by the end of lap 1, he'll be up into third position, because he's done that now as we enter the Rettifilio once again. Verstappen takes third, and Lando had a bad start. Makes sense, considering it's usually Ricciardo has a bad start.
Ricardo.
Oh, lock up to, sorry, it's going to question. Perez versus Sainz locking up as well, and that was Latifi getting forced out wide to Fries holds 8th, and that's Charles Leclerc. So that's his teammates, Carlos Sainz battling with Sergio Perez, and they touched wheels coming out the Rettifilio, and now it's 3 abreast further back as well, as they all try and slot for position as well into Dalla Roggia. This is an insane opening race. It's just like Formula 3.
Great start by De Vries. You know, Nick has just held his own in that first few laps.
I'm honestly worn out as well. What do you make of the start then, Josh? We're back with you as we see a replay of it.
Very aggressive pull away. That's your best
Yeah,
bet.
green flag at the back with lights out, and that was a very, very slow start from Lando Norris. And look at the Alpine get pushed out by Sergio Perez right at the back, and that was an Aston Martin going off 3 wide into the first cane. Never works. That is Lewis Hamilton having to take off. I don't
think he got pushed. He just went off of his own accord.
Yeah, he just went off on his own accord. On board with George Russell now. And start analysis, Leclerc 0.7 second, and Russell 0.36. Russell went round the outside of turn 1 but got pushed off, and there was contact by Carlos Sainz. Let's hear from Russell.
I believe he just pushed me wide. I reckon that is just about okay. This is Lando. Went to anti-stall, didn't he? Just completely dropped it down, and nothing he could do there. And he's been swamped behind now. There goes, that's Nicholas Latifi as well, who had a little bit of a better getaway. Then he gets swamped out. Here comes De Vries, look on the outside with what was Alonso. What a great getaway. And this is Mick Schumacher, and he's dropped down to 19th position, and he got swamped into turn 1 of the Rettifilio. It is literally like looking at a knife being pointed at your face, this bit.
You know, that was where they fell over each other. That's probably why Bottas is at the back.
Something flew off the back of Valtteri Bottas as Lewis Hamilton went over it as well. So Bottas has gone right to the back.
Wasn't it Bottas involved in that incident at the when he went over the curb just then and got knocked in the air at the back?
Yes, yeah, that was him. Yeah, at the start of the race. Yeah, at turn 1. Good point. Yeah, so that means that whatever damage he sustained fell off in front of Lewis Hamilton. Lap 4 of the race. Then the top 3 are already moving away.
The thing about these new cars is that they're downforce cars, and the secret of the Red Bull is these like tunnels underneath on the floor that just scoop the air in the direction it needs to be and not away from it. Nobody's copied it completely yet, but all of them have copied it in some way or other. And if you damage them, a few weeks ago, Max damaged his, and you saw a totally different car.
Checo Perez going on the inside there of Kevin Magnussen into Dalla Roggia, and he makes his move as well. Adam says as well, hi Josh, have a blessed Sunday, picking Leclerc to win today. I've gone for Verstappen, but I'm hoping Leclerc wins in the picker winner. And Australian now says, what lap do you expect Leclerc to retire? Probably around about the first pit stop. Something will go wrong for Ferrari, as it usually does.
Gwenwyn says that Monza has a great cathedral, but Adelaide has a city of churches. So is Tours. If you ever go to Tours in France, Great Hill, the main road through, there is a massive, about mile hill, and quite steep, and you're surrounded by churches all over the place.
Verstappen's got the DRS as he comes down the start-finish straight now as well. He's closing on Russell as well. Less than 30 metres. Can he go for an inside move later on? He's going to go for it. Verstappen dives up the inside line of Russell into the Rettifilio. And Max Verstappen takes second place by lap 5. Game on as well as we get a race. And even the fans appreciate that, because this is going to be a great race. And further behind, Carlos Sainz is going for a move to get ahead of Sebastian Vettel for 11th position. Ricciardo is also having to defend from Pierre Gasly as well for 4th position. And now look at that, the top 3 have now got a 7-second gap to everybody else. It's just insane. And this is how Verstappen did it down towards turn 1 again. Pulls the inside line, lay on the brakes through the DRS. Nice overtake. I mean, nice to see it on board for a change.
What those graphics show you is the late braking as it's happening, and also, the pull of the other car. As soon as it goes to the right, you see it released from even these new cars have such a pull on them when you're behind them.
Oh, 2 Teds in the pits.
Verstappen, and the big unknown for them was how fast will Max Verstappen be in this opening stint. Now they've got their answer. I think they thought it was going to take a little more than 5 laps for Verstappen to be on Leclerc's gearbox, but there's nothing to do that Leclerc can do. If Leclerc's got any pace, he needs to show it now, but it looks like he doesn't have an answer for Verstappen's pace in this stint.
And listen to the Tifosi go wild again as Carlos Sainz makes a move on the inside of Sebastian Vettel.
Both Max and Carlos there showing you how to do it. Right, you get as close as you can to the car in front, closer on these new cars than ever before.
And there he goes, done it again.
That pulls you along, and then you pull out to the right and you late brake.
And that's Sainz now passing Stroll as Sergio Perez trying to go right round the outside of Esteban Ocon through the Curve de Grande as well. Soft compound tyres for Ocon, medium compound tyres for Perez as he pulls around the outside line. Down to Della Roggia, has the inside line. Does he make the move? Yes, he does. Of course he does. We're not expecting that much of a battle, really, between anybody going against a Ferrari or a Red Bull today who's out of position on the grid. Josh as well. Leclerc and Verstappen both on soft compound tyres, but is there a risk that they could possibly do an undercut? Because we know Ferrari's strategy isn't that great. They're probably going to leave him out there for quite a long time.
There's always possibilities of everything here in Formula One, but it is highly a possibility of an undercut. Just having a look at the all-time Grand Prix starts, Fernando Alonso is tied with Kimi Raikkonen at 349. So next time out, it will be Fernando Alonso's 350th Grand Prix at Singapore.
And that makes him the most successful driver in F1 history if he goes to the 350.
I'm pretty sure I heard, was it Martin or Dill say that he has actually passed the number of laps.
Yes, yeah, he did that in Silverstone. No, he did kilometres in Silverstone.
Yeah, and laps at the laps race.
Yeah, laps he did in Netherlands, didn't he? Yeah, Alonso. As well, most kilometres driven in an F1 car,
So
which is
he's clocking up all the different world records or records, and and Lewis has got all the others.
He has, yeah. And, he's got one. He's tied with Michael Schumacher, of course, and the Latifi is stuck behind Yuki Tsunoda. Hamilton's stuck behind this train as well. And just looking at it,
Lewis has got more than one world record. The world record number of podiums, the world record number of first finishes, the world record for the number of poles.
He hasn't got fastest lap, I don't think. He's only ever had... Lewis has only ever had 9 fastest laps in his career. Is that right? Or has my stat deleted itself?
I think it's deleted itself, but it could be because Lewis is he's a consistent driver. His laps are almost the same level every time.
And we just saw Red Bull getting ready as well for some pit stops down there as well. I'm sure Josh will keep an eye on who's going to dive in if anybody does, as DRS now gets activated. Ricciardo has to pull Gasly as well. And then Norris, Alonso all coming in as well. Great job, though, from Nick de Vries, starting on the soft compound tire. He's 8th at the moment as well. See, that's what happens when you don't put Paul di Resta in the car. You actually get some good manoeuvres as Sainz passes Zhou and goes to P9. So Perez pits, thanks Josh, and puts on hard compound tyres. 2.3? 2.3, surely. Come on, what's the graphic? Oh, 2.1. I'm getting slows today. 2.1 seconds. Oh, hang on.
We've got a brake bias needed to adjust in.
Yeah, they're smoking, hasn't he? He's got the magic on.
Yeah, he'd got... he hadn't turned their little machine off, I think.
I'm fully expecting that wheel to go bang. Actually, it's still smoking. It's on fire. The brake's on fire. Perez's brake is completely on fire.
Well, I would recommend that he carries on.
Yeah, to extinguish it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I have some flames on the right disc.
Well, how do you stop?
Well, I suppose if it's doing that, he's either got a small leak, which is going to mean his hydraulics go totally, or it's just dust.
Yeah, like caught fire in the pit stop. So this could be a problem.
Which is what the Red Bull strategists and management are looking at now.
If there's
looking at all the data.
Tell you what, if there's one track on the Formula 1 calendar where you don't want to have a brake failure,
the
is
thing
Monza.
I am seeing is the fact that maybe it's my dark glasses, right? But that smoke looks blue.
It's blue. Yeah, it's blue. You're right. It's blue. It's not white. It is blue. I can confirm that to you.
Which suggests hydraulic.
Yeah, and there's the fact. So it's the brake's
and the
got
positioning of that fire suggests hydraulics as well.
Yeah. So Perez might be in trouble as Lewis Hamilton passes Yuki Tsunoda further back as well. The TV direction's not being great today, I must admit. Let's hear from Perez.
Stop.
Shall I move it rearwards, the brake balance?
Yeah, bias rearwards if you can, -2.
Okay, so they think they can fix it by changing the rear brake bias
Well,
back.
they first said stop, didn't they? And then go to bias 2.
So
the first thing I said was change the brake bias when he came out the pit.
You did immediately, and I think that's what they've got to do. They've got to change the brake, just make sure it's all okay. but he's still circulating, but he is going very slowly out on the driver track. You can see him. He's coming around the Curva Grande, which is at turn 3. Now coming down past the yellow into the red, if you're watching along on the YouTube chat as well.
The good thing about this is that there's no damp on the circuit like there was yesterday morning. And so anything that is being deposited on the circuit is just carbon, isn't it?
Yeah.
From the burning things.
It evaporates quickly.
So it won't affect the inside curves and things like that.
Yeah.
He hasn't been told to keep off the curbs, and he's just driving, sedately at the moment, isn't he?
Here comes Carlos Sainz. He's got the DRS run. He moves to the inside of Fernando Alonso, and listen to the Tifosi again, going absolutely wild as they come in towards turn 1. Just listen to it in the background. Sainz goes to 7th position as well and moves ahead of Alonso, and the Ferrari mechanics are enjoying that one as well as they come through. Now, Leclerc is lapping 1.5 seconds fast at the moment. Last lap time for Leclerc, 1:26.092. Verstappen was a 1:25.886.
Lewis is behind Tsunoda. He's up to 15th, and he's about to overtake Tsunoda. He's just waiting for the right position on the circuit to do it. He's a 10th behind him.
And that is getting worse and worse and worse for Mercedes as well. Taking that back of the grid penalty. Yes, he's moving up positions, but Verstappen started 7th, now 2nd. Hamilton's not really moving up, but Sainz started this race 18th and is now running 7th. So that proves how bad the Mercedes is at the moment. Let's hear from Leclerc.
But Charles, if Verstappen goes to plan C, we would like to go to plan B. Are you happy with that?
Yes, happy.
Copy?
And everyone now shudders at the thought that they've been the plan A, plan B, plan C, and all that lot again.
But Mercedes cars are running in 3rd, 4th, and 6th.
That's true, actually, yeah. With Mercedes actually right up there with George Russell, and Russell stands a very good chance of winning the race today as well if he gets the strategy right, as Daniel Ricciardo having to weave on the straight as well to try and break the DRS train to Gasly and try and give it to Lando Norris as Carlos Sainz is going for a manoeuvre. He's going to go to the inside very late. Yes, he is. He's going to catch Norris a bit by surprise, and Norris doesn't let one of his best friends have a little bit of any chance of an attack or any chance of contact. He just spontaneously lets him through. So Sainz goes 6th. Norris isn't racing Sainz at all. He's racing Ricciardo and Gasly ahead of him after that bad start. So
I think that's what the trouble. Do you reckon that Lewis has got some undercar damage?
After the bumping over the track, yes, I do. And this,
yeah, and that's because, as we described earlier, that
this is
these
Vettel.
downforce Vettel.
Oh, Vettel's got a problem. I'm losing power.
He's losing power. That engine's gone.
And that explains why I saw Hamilton and Tsunoda pass him. I think Sebastian Vettel has got a lot bigger problem.
Has he stopped on the circuit? Where is he?
Well, he stopped, yeah, 18th.
Yeah, he's stopping.
He stopped, yeah.
Bottas has just passed him.
And he's yellow flag. Yeah,
even
he stopped.
Perez is coming up to him now, I think.
Here he is, Sebastian Vettel, on the anniversary of when he came in. Safety car or virtual?
Virtual, because all that car needs doing is pushing backwards now. Perfect parking by Sebastian. He's passed his test.
Safe. Stop the car when it's safe.
Stop the car when it's safe. Absolutely. So
that engine's gone. You won't wreck it anymore. As long as you've got drive, get it to a place where you're not going to have a safety car.
Sainz goes on the inside line, trying to get past Pierre Gasly with ease. Virtual safety car deployed. So, Josh, they've all gone through the pit lane, but would this be a free pit stop for both Leclerc and Verstappen and Russell, those on the soft tyres, if they can get back to the pits before the virtual safety car comes in?
It really could, but they are currently just going past Vettel stranded, and
there's a gap.
If we scroll down here, turn one incident involving Magnussen is noted for leaving the track and gaining an advantage.
I wonder if Hamilton will be too, because he went over there of his own accord. Yeah. We'll keep an eye.
We haven't seen the replay of that.
Yeah.
It's possible that Lewis had to bail out.
I want to see an onboard of Lewis's car when we get a chance. I'm not seeing anything on the PLC.
And Lewis was second from the...
Yeah, I am seeing a replay of Seb getting out of the car. Ferrari are coming in, and that's it. So the virtual safety cars brought them in. Do it now, do it.
What do you think about boxing for plan A?
Blocks now.
Yeah, it will be tight but
do it.
probably the best solution, yeah.
Good boys, good boys. Ferrari have actually got a strategy call right. Is Verstappen? Oh, it's coming in. Oh no, Verstappen's taken the lead. Verstappen's taken the lead. He stayed out, and the virtual safety car is ending. They put on medium compounds, and it goes green. So we're back to green.
Yeah, but I think that what Ferrari are thinking there, yeah, they have lost a bit of positioning.
But not as much time.
But not as much time. So it could come back to them later.
And does it get out ahead of Ricciardo, though? That was the crucial thing, because he's on medium compound tyres, and Leclerc just puts them on into turn one. Ricciardo goes on the outside. It doesn't work. Yes. Yes. Cheer to Fosse. Whoa, they touched. They touched. They touched.
No, I think it was I think the Ferrari slid.
Yeah, okay.
Back end slide because of the brake bias being wrong.
So is he going to keep ahead? Because he's got Carlos Sainz directly behind him as well. Can Ricciardo get up there? But I don't think he will. That was a perfect stop from Leclerc, and it was a beautiful strategy call from Ferrari. Let's just take a second to accept that, because even though Verstappen leads with Russell second, Leclerc's only 13 seconds back. An average pit stop here is 25 seconds. So game on. What have you found, Josh?
That one turn one incident involving Magnussen now under investigation for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. And did Ferrari just say plan A? Did they actually just say A?
Oh,
yes, they
Sainz! Sainz to the inside of Ricciardo and Ascari with a sweet move! Terrific! And the Tifosi like that, even I liked that. You can't do that at Ascari. And he just went through Ricciardo like he wasn't there.
Yeah, Josh, what Josh is saying, I think, is that that was their plan all along, that there would be a safety car or a virtual safety car, and they could change quickly.
Was in slightly worse shape than yours. So
hey, Josh?
back into your rhythm.
Little Josh.
That's you, Josh.
Yeah, they normally never say plan A.
Yeah.
So I'm quite surprised about that, but
well,
that is
long.
Vettel's. Here is up the
Gasly,
inside.
yeah, Gasly passing.
Out.
Oh, he's locked up. He's gone straight on. Gasly passing Ricciardo at turn one. He locked up in the Rettifilio. He shouldn't have to get the place back though, because he was well ahead.
It
before
used
the
to be a
braking zone.
Nico Rosberg move going
yes,
through
it did,
that thing.
Yeah, straight on.
I'm sure the reason those bollards there is because
he did it.
Rosberg used to do it on purpose.
2014, yeah. And Gasly's letting him back through. Gentleman there, Pierre Gasly, a gentleman driver. Yeah. Let's take a look at it again. I think though, Josh, he had the move done way before the corner.
Let's have a look. Yes, he did have the move done way before the corner, and then looked up and had to abort going around the chicane. But just having a look at it, that here is Nicholas Latifi. Look at the rear wing dancing along.
We had that in practice too, didn't we? And we're on a number of cars.
Did. And this is Vettel's first technical retirement of the year.
Oh, not bad for Sebastian in his last year. Yeah, I think he would have, like being a former Ferrari driver, he would have probably liked to do a lot better in this race, but the engine had otherwise ideas. Maybe he should have taken a penalty as well.
Yeah, well, Singapore next time out as well, probably might have to take a penalty as well, as one lap 15 of 53, 13.9 to go.
That's why Lewis had to take a penalty, because he wrecked his engine when he went over that curb last week.
Yeah, at Zandvoort as well. And also, yeah, go on.
First up into the air.
Also, oh, that was Spa, yeah, a couple of weeks ago, yeah, you're right. Also...
No, what happened last week then? He wrecked his engine last week.
Yeah.
What was it?
Something went wrong, because it's his second grid penalty in a row for Hamilton, isn't it? All right, I think... Yeah. I know. He's taking a grid penalty here as a result of Belgium. Yeah, that's it. This is the problem with triple headers. They all just sort of go into one. I'm glad we got a 2-week break from F1. And next weekend, it's only MotoGP as well.
I know Martin said this, but the amazing fact that you couldn't hear a pin drop during Her Majesty's Minute Silence.
Yeah, we had it on as well on the broadcast. So I couldn't hear a thing. It was brilliant on here as well. Now we're getting to the
I'll tell you what she would do. She would moan about the speed between Balmoral and Edinburgh. She could have done it in a lot faster time than they are.
Yeah, so Jackie Stewart once said as well, no, I'll drive, you can navigate. And she properly goes through it, doesn't she?
Well, yeah, she learned to drive in the army during the war.
When it was crucial getting where fast.
Yeah, and also she drove trucks.
Back to the action as well, because we're down the start-finish straight once again. There is a train forming, this time behind Danny Ricciardo, who's got Gasly, Alonso, Norris, De Vries, and Zhou all in a mix. So battles 5 to 10 are all out there as well, trying to hope them through on the inside line. And so far, it's not working out as well as we thought it might.
Her police driver tells the story of the
2
time.
seconds. The clear radio.
Do not short shift in corner exits.
I come. Make sure the engine is right.
So they've seen.
Oh dear. So there's short shifting worries at Ferrari whether or not that engine can make it to the end.
Now there's the new champion of F3, Victor Martins.
After 45 minutes of waiting.
Yeah, the police driver in here came across a stranded motorist, and she told him how to fix the car.
Absolutely fantastic as well. As they come through.
She was a great lady.
Gwenwyn says, no Albon choo-choo today. Don't worry, it's the Danny Ricciardo choo-choo out there with the train.
Well, Albon's chewing very softly today. He's had his operation, I believe.
Oh, that's great news. Hopefully he'll be back match fit for Singapore.
Yeah, he was actually back in the hotel early this morning, so he's had his operation.
Ricciardo is all over the place. Gasly has texted in. Well, he's not texted, he said it, and we're just seeing it on text now as well up here.
Yeah.
Although I haven't heard any team radio.
What's
Bone
Josh?
in the cockpit again?
Probably. I haven't heard any team radio for a while, actually. I'm going to refresh the page, see if that works as well. And this is Lewis Hamilton. Hang on, Lewis Hamilton passing Stroll on the inside, and Hamilton goes to 11th. Go on, Josh.
Magnussen, 5 penalties. Is that what you want to say, Josh?
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot you was going to say it. So.
Is that going to be...
Give me a red card, Josh.
Red card. Is that Magnussen
I do actually have a referee book somewhere in the garage.
My nephew is a Scottish referee.
Yeah, he is actually, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, the little owl. If
Chris.
Little Owls too is a referee as well. Which I haven't actually seen him so far in this broadcast. Maybe he's higher up the YouTube chat as well. I need to zoom that in anyway. Lap 18 coming up. Verstappen continues to lead this race. I thought he was going to dive into the pit lane there as well. He hasn't. As I'm trying to get access to the timings to hear the team radio, but it's just spooling around at the moment. So we'll see what it... Oh, and actually...
I've always wanted to ask him, but we don't see him that often. Chris, how do they record the number on the card? Is it because the cards, to me, whenever I've seen them close up, and I know they used to be 20 years ago, they used to be like plasticky things. They must have another way of noting the thing.
Lando's going to the inside line of Fernando Alonso down towards turn 1. Alonso's forcing him towards the exit, the pit lane as well. Lando's forcing him back, and Alonso gives him the position. Lando goes through into 7th position. Good job there. What was that?
Going through the referee, the obstacles again.
Yeah, so who was that through the
locking
first
up
chicane?
to try and stop going through them.
This is Lando again on the onboard. As the off-board cameras.
The ridiculous situation. If anybody's not seen F3 this morning, the ridiculous situation where at the end of the race there was a 25-minute gap while the referees
worked out the champion.
They're called the stewards. Worked out who was where and who was champion.
Yeah,
25 minutes.
And who to give penalties to make sure that the right champion won as well.
I mean, most of the stations got the where the grid penalties were yesterday wrong for the first half an hour, and had Max in 4th, whereas
started 7th.
The rule that Massey changed meant that he must take his full grid penalty.
Mostly the front not having the easiest time, but I'm only limited, so...
That's Danny Ricciardo on the radio.
A little bit.
So Ricciardo on the radio there talking as well. Josh has got the radio in, I think, as well. That's why we're hearing it.
Yeah.
As always, on the guard. Now, what tyres he going to put on? We've opened up the box. He was on medium compound tyres. He's taken them 19 laps. So he's pitted before De Vries, Ocon, Russell and Verstappen as well. And what tyre is that, Josh? I can't see.
That was...
Oh, Stroll's in too. And
they're white,
Joe.
aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
I think they're hard.
Hard, yeah. Yeah, hard tyres. I couldn't see.
Low is hards as well. Stroll is 1 lap used hards.
Why has De Vries got a track limits
Black
warning?
and white flag for De Vries, track limits.
Yeah, he's had a lot of track limits. And Magnussen's on his second.
Oh, okay.
Not doing too bad, though, for a driver. I mean,
Schumacher's on his first, I believe.
Oh, Hugh Grant. Hello.
Oh, Hugh Grant.
I don't know whether...
Hello, Hugh Grant.
King of England. It's the King. Hugh Grant.
No, Charles is.
Yes, but Hugh Grant did play the King.
Yeah, I know.
Turbo says Queen's Coffin is being transferred to Edinburgh, currently passing Dundee. Oh, is that where she is?
Aye, she's near that means that she's near the Forth Road Bridge.
De Vries is closing in on Fernando Alonso, by the way, as well at the moment. As it closes in, battles on. And De Vries pits. Oh, lovely. And Ricciardo pits too. Okay, so Nick De Vries then into the pit lane for his first ever Formula One pit stop. I hope he's practiced them. Let's see how he does it. It's a good stop for Ricciardo, but he's being held. And there we go. Hard tyres going on.
I don't know anybody who has come in to a drive at the last minute in recent years who is doing as well as De Vries is.
There was a problem with
Nice
Ocon
stop
there.
from De Vries.
Oh, a 3.1 is good, and he got out, I think, ahead of Ocon. He did, very clearly, yeah. And Tsunoda pits with the 2.6 as well.
I mean, he is a world champion.
Yeah, Formula E. Formula E World Champion Season 7, yeah. And I tell you one thing as well, I do agree with you both. Nick De Vries, as he cuts off Lance Stroll as well to make that undercut not work from Lance.
What is
Nicely
he,
done.
26 now?
I think he's just turned 27, if I remember my FE notes.
Is he going to be the latest Williams late developer to become
hang on. We've got side by
a
side.
championship contender?
De Vries has got the inside line coming down to De La Roche. Yeah, Stroll's going to try and go on the outside line. And I tell you what, Lance.
Well, Dill was
do not go there.
29, wasn't he, when he came into racing? He used to do
and
motorcycles before that.
And he was 32 when he made his debut.
Yeah.
Nick is 27.
Nick is 27.
27, yeah. I knew Nick was getting on.
He's the eldest of the current lot, isn't he, to do it?
Yeah, he was stood in the line with the national anthem with his friends because he used to share a flat in London with George, didn't he?
Yes, he did, yeah.
And didn't he used to go out with George's sister?
I think he did. I
don't know if he still does.
I think he did. I think George then dated his sister as well to get back at him as a joke. I swear that happened. I can't remember. I'll find that out, actually. But I think you're right, because I know that story. Because I think Alex Jakes told it once. As now we see Ricciardo and Gasly battling over 12th position. Gasly's got the DRS open on the run down towards turn 1, but he's not going to make the move. No, he's too far back. Too far back into the Rettifilio. De Vries has dropped to 14th place at the moment as well, but what a Grand Prix.
You see, when I heard the story about them living together, it reminded me of Jim Clark and
Jackie
Stewart.
They did live together.
They used to live together and share the silver Jaguar.
Yeah. And Jackie wouldn't admit it as well, but every single time Jim used to come to all of Graham's parties with a different woman every single time.
Yeah. Jim Clark was my first favourite driver. Plus,
we are taking plan C.
So they put Leclerc out there to pit onto the virtual safety car. Now it's looked like it's not working, so now they're going back to plan C to try and get him back in the lead of the race. But all they've got to do is wait for Verstappen and Russell to pit again, and he'll have the advantage still.
One of my other favourite drivers when I was young was in rally cars, and that was Roger Clark.
Oh yeah.
He died last year. His son won the. His son, 2 years ago, won the hill climb at Goodwood.
He did, didn't he? Yeah. At the festival speed. Perez going around the outside of Bottas for P10 at the Rettifilio. Nicely done.
Go ahead, 27.6, 1.2 behind.
Let's just say that my tires are slowly back up a bit.
Yeah, our timing is just not working at the moment up in the comms box. We're on lap 22 now. Oh, here we go. Schumacher radio. Here we go.
Last lap. 27.6, 1.2 behind.
Okay, well, it is starting to work. Okay, well, it's starting to work anyway, so there we go. Right, let's have a look at Perez versus De Vries once again as we hear radio technical difficulties. I think it's working now. Perez had a DRS long down the straightaway and makes the move in towards turn 1. A sweet, sweet move. And his father, Antonio Perez Garbi, as well, was applauding that one and having a nice time there. So Verstappen leads the Italian Grand Prix on lap 23 out of 53. We've got 31 laps to go. Russell is second, Leclerc third, Sainz in fourth as well, and Ferrari fans starting to worry that they're throwing it away.
Perez's dad is a really nice gentleman, isn't he? Nice, sweet old man.
And without him as well, Formula One wouldn't have gone back to Mexico City.
No.
He pushed so hard to get that Grand Prix back on. Something plus a car there, I think. Who'd that come from? Norris, I think. According to the driver track it came from.
Yeah, I think Nick de Vries should be in Formula One. We don't want another De Costa situation. Possibly in recent years, Nick has had the odd chance, but nothing concrete, has he?
Nah, Nick's...
and this is
It was.
Oh, go on, Josh.
It was pit loss plus a half, as we hear from Alonso.
Everything is normal. Okay, everything looks okay from our side.
We have a...
Wow!
Yeah.
And Russell Pitts.
I love Fernando's comments.
Now, is this a super stop from Mercedes? It's a bit slow, actually.
Have you got this wrong, or is it just me?
Yeah.
It's you. Wow.
Just simple wow, that's it. Not going to do anything else.
That
Russell
was the
stop.
translation, by the way.
Yeah, there you go.
Everything looks okay from our side.
Yeah, everything's okay on our side. Wow, just simple as. Not even attempting anymore. Russell comes out fourth behind Leclerc and Sainz, but he had a 3.6 second stop, and he's changed onto the hard tyres. Very bad stop there from Mercedes.
Didn't Fernando once say of the Honda GP2 car in a GP with a GP2 engine?
Yes, yeah, in Japan as well, at the home race of Honda. Shouting it down the microphone as well as they come through. In fact, I think Chris Medland's just tweeted that as well. Everything okay as well. Yeah, he was. In fact, yeah, Chris Medland, I think, just did message about how similar it was to Honda's one. Thank you.
I know I usually talk about the chat, but I can hardly see it, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Yeah, just keep your eyes on the thing as well. I'll tell you this.
I can't see there's another replay of the overtake of the Haas by Perez.
The
fire couldn't have been hydraulic.
Brake dust then.
Great.
Just simple brake dust then. Turbo says Nick de Vries. Oh, Ted.
Of a few preparations for a pit stop being made at Red Bull. So I think now George Russell has made those soft tyres last, 25, 26 laps. Same for Max Verstappen. And I think they're going to be pitting the race leader at the moment, which will bring him out, where, Crofty? Just behind Leclerc by about 7 seconds?
Something like that, absolutely.
And if the safety car comes out,
I've got a theory.
Advantage. Go on.
Was the problem with the Red Bull a blocked air intake, one of the tiny air intakes, which would cause the brake disc to overheat, which would melt the air intake, and now the air's getting back in?
Possibly, yeah, I reckon you're right then. Yeah,
I'm just looking at things.
Well, it happened to Leclerc, didn't it? It's Belgium.
Yeah, I know. That's where I got that idea from.
Nick de Vries says. Nick de Vries says. Turbo says Nick de Vries might have a chance of getting an F1 seat with Williams if he scores points this race. Agreed.
Now.
That's Russell.
Should be fine.
Yeah, what's his name? Capito.
Los Capito, yeah.
Los Capito. He virtually said that whatever happens, they know what they're doing with him.
Magnussen serving his penalty of 5
seconds. Verstappen, box.
And he's in now. So it's an 8.4 second stop for Magnussen, but here comes Verstappen. He pits now from the lead of the race, changes over from soft compound to medium, and away he goes. Super stop. I think that was 2.4. Oh, bang on, 2.4. There we go.
So Perez is on the hards.
Leclerc leads. He's done it. Now, what's the gap when he comes out the pit lane? Longer than 7 seconds, that's for sure. Longer. And Sainz has dropped from no. Where's Sainz gone? There he is.
Perez is on the hards. Max is on the mediums, right?
No, you're right. He's not on hards.
They've gone back 2 years, where 2 years ago, Red Bull always, in the last few weeks,
first lap to lead
they've always had
limits, turn 7.
different strategies for the two cars.
Yeah, they haven't they? Yeah, and that's what Ricciardo liked as well. He liked a different strategy to Verstappen because it gave him an opportunity to differentiate himself as well. But every strategy that Verstappen had, Albon, Gasly, they all had to have as well.
Perez is getting up there slowly. He's just behind Lewis at the moment. But he's 10 seconds behind Lewis.
And Lewis is closing in as well on Fernando Alonso for a little battle between them as well. So that's getting a bit close for comfort as well as the race goes on. As Vettel's the only retirement so far. Magnussen's dropped down to 19th place. Stroll 18th. Latifi 17th. De Vries has dropped back down to 13th position, but I think that's because of his pit stop. So he might still get in the points paying positions once the net leads have corrected themselves as well. This is on board with Lewis Hamilton. You're hearing now as well. Flat out.
Oh no.
What's happened, Josh? What have you spotted?
Hamilton and Alonso are together again.
Yeah, that's good. Your mic's jumped a little bit, just to let you know. As, yeah, Hamilton, Alonso, they're never end good. Remember Silverstone as well, these two. Even remember Belgium. He's closing. He's just outside of half a second. Now he's in half a second. Down towards the parabolica. Is he going to take anything? No, he's not. I thought he might have an inside eye, but no, nothing. Can't do it. Going to have DRS, though, on the run down to turn number 1 at the Retofilio. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Open up the DRS, and look how easy it's going to be. Alonso can't go defensive too much either. Past the building at the wrong time, and Hamilton goes into 6th position. Alonso down to 7th, and that's what Lewis does as well.
I think that you know, you got the situation where Fernando knew he couldn't fight Lewis.
Yeah. And did you notice as well, Hamilton, once
There's
he made
no reason for him to hold Lewis up there.
Yeah, and did you notice when Hamilton came back in front?
He won't like that, though.
Yeah, Hamilton got the move done, then he drifted back in front.
Daniel, do you think there is any opportunity to hold Gasly up by 1/10 to give Lando a clear track?
Answer came there,
Jackie
none.
Doohan.
Possible replacement for Fernando Alonso next year. It's been rumoured this morning because he's Alpine's only other reserve driver as well, because Piastri's gone to McLaren.
Well, I know Mick would be pushing for that, his dad. A lot of people have a lot of respect for Mick Doohan in this paddock. And if anybody can change people's minds,
it's definitely him, isn't it?
Yeah, and you look at the back end of the season for Jack, it's been amazing.
Also, Mick Schumacher was rumoured to be getting that seat as well, but apparently when Esteban Ocon said as well that he'd like Mick Schumacher as his teammate, Alpine were really angry at him for it. Yeah, they were really angry at the fact that he said it in the press conference last weekend at the Dutch Grand Prix. Gasly closing in now as well.
Daniel, do you think there is any opportunity to hold Gasly up by 1/10 to give Lando a clear track?
Yeah, we believe that at the moment Mick could be taking a year out.
Yeah, it looks like so, yeah, and come back as Alfa Romeo driver as well.
When they change over their name to
Sauber.
Audi.
Yeah, because I think he's working out a deal for where he comes in for Audi.
German team, German driver.
Yeah, exactly. As he comes back through, because the deal with Alfa Romeo ends next year. And then it becomes back to Sauber for 2 seasons. Then it becomes Audi, but Sauber at the end of next year will be under the control of Audi as well for their preparation years. Bit like how Mercedes put HWA in Formula E for 2 seasons.
Isn't what's his name the reserve at Haas this weekend? The Ferrari driver.
Antonio Giovinazzi.
Yeah,
Giovinazzi was there.
Where do we currently stand? Given it what's stopped.
That's Hamilton. We're not hearing the responses to these questions, are we? Oh, just so, because Danny Ricciardo's been asked twice now about can he hold up Gasly by a 10th to give Lando a pit stop opportunity.
Yeah, but he's not flicked his microphone to say yes.
Yeah, and Lewis, we haven't heard anything back from Bono either, so I wonder if there's a bit of communication problem here at Monza.
Yeah, and in taxiing, and I know the racers use it as well, if you flick your microphone once, it means yes. If you flick it twice, it means no.
Yeah. So it's a bit of the Morse code, isn't it, as well? Or maybe go towards the pit wall as well. So I'm just looking at the moment as well. The gap is coming down. Leclerc now leads Verstappen by 8.3 seconds. I mean, everybody wanted Leclerc to win. Ferrari want Leclerc to win. Tifosi want him to win. But Verstappen is on a charge here. And let's hear from Carlos Sainz.
Okay, Lance, that's a better lap. And the shot is faster than expected. 1/10 faster than expected, the shot.
Well, Ferrari, they're saying as well that the soft tyre is a tenth of a second faster than anticipated. We've worked that up in the commentary box as well. Why haven't they? And Verstappen's just done a 1:24.829, the fastest lap of the race so far as we ride on board with him now. And Leclerc is just out there waiting to be reached out and grabbed from the screen as well, because it's going to happen eventually. And Verstappen just can't do anything with it. I mean, Red Bull are just getting everything right this year. I don't know what it is, but they went through loads of years of trouble, and then they got competitive again in 2017, and then they got the regulations really right in 2021, and they've flown with 2022 as well. So Ferrari have got to up their game here. I'll tell you what Leclerc needs right now. He needs a safety car. Leclerc needs a safety car. That's all we hear on the radio is 1/10 expected faster. So yeah, Leclerc needs a safety car. Go on, Josh.
Yeah, I just saw that in the TV chat as well. And I'm going to do the meme. Daniel, press the talk button once if you would like to talk to us.
Yeah, just turn it on. Let us know if everything's okay. Let us know that it's all out there.
It's not working.
Daniel is travelling tonight in a daze. He can see the red tail lights of the car in front of him, but he can't actually put his radio on.
Sainz box. Are they going for Sainz to win this race instead then? Because Sainz is now coming into the pit lane. There he is on board.
Yeah, but coming up through the things, he has knackered his tyres more than any of them, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's...
Yeah, 8-9, it's a bit weird that it's starting to move a bit around, but it's fine, I'll crash.
Sainz puts on soft compound tyres, had a brand new set of those left.
2.3.
Oh, nice stop from
Lewis
Ferrari.
quietly up into 6th.
Oh yeah, good point. Lewis has got back up again. But then again, we've still got 23 laps to go. As you always say, the last 15 laps are the key thing, isn't it?
15 laps to go. This is where the fun starts.
It's lap 31 of 53. 23 to go. Come on. So Sainz is now on soft compound tyres. He's the only one out there on soft. Ferrari are banking on him to do something special out there to try and get a race win. If not, we're all going to be a bit disappointed. Just adjusting the order.
7 laps to 15 laps to go, isn't there?
Yes, yeah. Come on, what can you do? What can you find out there? Oh, this is Sainz.
I can do this.
Yes. Oh, did he speed in the pit lane?
No, yes.
He was just too fast.
With high speed, so that's good. You also have EB if you want to use it.
For those of you who don't know, to hear the radio, and Red Bull looking at those medium compound tyres on Ferrari to see what the wear is between them. Now, when Sainz came into the pit lane, as you see Robert Schwartzman, the Ferrari test driver, Sainz came into the pit lane, locked up the front right tyre, then locked the front left as well, and was skidding past the line. So I think he might have just been speeding in the pit lane. But Leclerc leads the race by 6.2 seconds. What he needs right now is a safety car to have an advantage and to get another pit stop, because he pitted under the virtual safety car earlier on, believing that Verstappen would also. Didn't. Verstappen took the softs a lot further as Perez passes Alonso for 6th. Oh, Alonso pits, that's why.
Robert Schwartzman, who I believe goes under the Estonian flag nowadays.
I think he does, yeah. Oh, that's Alonso with the failure. Alonso's out.
Got an issue.
It looks like a rear suspension failure.
Track limits.
Don't know what the hell he was shouting about there about track limits to you. He got told that. He was shouting track limits. But Fernando Alonso is out of the Italian Grand Prix.
Yeah, I think it is rear suspension on the right-hand side.
I think you're right. Yeah, it's a shame. He could have done that on the track.
Definitely looked at an angle.
Could have done that on the track and caused a safety car, couldn't he? Come on, Fernando. Help us out here.
He's a better driver than that.
Yeah. He's not a Sonoda.
If he could bring it home, he'll bring it home. Just like Lewis did on 3 wheels.
I'm glad Megan's not in the commentary box with us today, because she would have got off in a huff right about now. Alonso was out of the race, but she'll be back with us in Singapore in 2 weeks' time, when also W Series returns as well. So Leclerc's got to do something. He's got to find some time and something to win with as he comes under the banking. This is on board with Nick de Vries now, who's chasing Gasly for 11th position. De Vries.
Okay, Max, so just control your medium speed sliding, especially the rear axle, please.
Verstappen being told to monitor his rear speed action. Plan C confirmed. So Leclerc has responded. Plan C confirmed. So now this is the battle as Sainz closes up with Perez. So Plan C, is that to go to hard compound tyres, Josh, later on in the race? It's a two-stopper. What's that two-stop strategy you talked about earlier? As Sainz closes on Perez. Go on, Josh. Oh, he's done it! Sorry to crash you! Sainz dives up the inside and takes Sergio Perez on the Dalla Rosia. He just slipped in up the inside with a beautiful manoeuvre.
Leclerc boxing.
And Leclerc's coming into the pit lane now, so Verstappen takes the lead. Leclerc comes into the pit lane, and Sainz did a beautiful move there as well. Go on, Josh.
Yeah, as we see the Ferrari pit stop from the Red Bull pit wall, that was a 2.6.
Go on, 2.6, yeah.
2.6 second stop and is on the soft tyres coming out of the pit lane now, out in second.
There's Russell.
And there is George Russell behind him. Russell could go for second here later on this lap 34 of 53.
Yeah, because Leclerc's tyres aren't going to be up to temperature yet. Hamilton says box, so Hamilton's pitting as well for the first time today. Norris hasn't stopped yet. Norris has done 34 laps on those medium compound tyres. That's impressive.
Mick Schumacher hasn't stopped either, or Bottas.
Yeah, and Hamilton with
But I thought Bottas had.
Oh, Mercedes pit stops have been off today. 3.6 for Russell, 3 seconds for Hamilton. Yeah, you're right. I thought Bottas had stopped today as well, but he hasn't. Schumacher boxes now as well, so Bottas goes through to 7th position, and Hamilton's going to be behind this train. He's just spent the entire race passing, and he drops behind De Vries and Zhou. So De Vries is back into the points.
T4 and Ron plan B. I plan to take off a little bit for that. Tyre will be more limited.
So De Vries is back into the points-paying positions, and Net is running 9th place. So it's Net 9th in this race at the moment as it comes through. But come on, let's see what's got. So it's 90. Oh, hello. I can see what's happened here. I've just seen the telemetry. Look, Verstappen 19.5 clear of Leclerc now. Leclerc's good to the end of the race. Verstappen's probably going to have to stop again on those. What tyres is he on? Hards? Can't remember what tyres he's on.
What, Leclerc?
No, Verstappen.
Max is on mediums.
So Max will have to stop again. There's no way he can do another 19 laps on those mediums. Norris has done 35, but Max has already done 20. I don't think Max can get to the end. But even if so, Leclerc is going to be on much faster tyres for the rest of this race on the softs. We're in for a good race. We're in for a good race here. And the gap is coming down as well, which is good to see.
19 laps remain.
19.
Soft tyre, best tyre out there.
Soft tyre's the best tyre out there, and Max isn't on the softs. Look at that, track temperature 43 degrees, air temperature 28. It's closing up nicely now. So we really do have a great Grand Prix coming as Hamilton passes Zhou for 11th position down towards the Rettifilio at turn 1. Yes. So happy about that. What have you got? What's that one? Alonso with wow.
I've been into the meme room and I have created another meme.
Alonso, wow. On the board there as well. Might be able to see it clear on that one.
I can't see it at all.
Oh, not surprised, yeah. We need to get you a big magnifying glass for the commentary box as well. At least your eyes are just about good enough to see the big monitor as well. Everything else is irrelevant. Norris is being box at the moment as well.
Where was there an elephant?
Over there, you didn't see it.
Oh, yeah.
Shh, we don't talk about it.
He's on a phone.
We don't talk about it.
He's making a trunk call.
I mean, there's no grip, it's not a balance issue.
Someone could... Ted.
Lando's definitely done the job by this long first stint. I thought he might never stop the tyres, but he is going to come in. He's not only going to clear, it seems, Pierre Gasly and his teammate Daniel Ricciardo, but also potentially Valtteri Bottas as well. But this stop needs to go very well. He stops well on his marks, and that's a little bit slow on the rear. There's more time going on the rear. The brakes are smoking, but eventually Lando gets away. I think he'll be okay. A couple of seconds drop there, but I think he'll be okay.
5.1.
Yeah, that's too big of a gap as well. Lap 36 and 53. as things stand as well. You can see the intervals coming down. Oh, De Vries does go back to 10th position, but does
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Oh, Lando's going to come out incredibly close on his teammate, and now he's going to have to come across to defend from the Alpha Tower wheel. Hamilton saw this before, hasn't he? And Hamilton backs out. That was almost a carbon copy of last year. And Lewis takes the move. Oh, brilliant from Lewis. Better acceleration, takes Norris, takes Gasly round the curve to Grande.
I love what Lewis said just then.
They're 3 abreast. Sorry, they're 3 abreast still. And Gasly trying to go on the outside. Hamilton's got the move done.
Lewis said that's more like it.
Brilliant.
Either him or Bono.
One of them said it over the radio. Heard that. That's brilliant.
Not Bono, Bono.
What did I say?
Bono, no, that's you too.
Oh dear. You've lasted about an hour and how long?
I don't know.
53 minutes of the race.
I can't see me clock because we watched because I ain't got one.
53 minutes you've lasted in the race so far.
Upstairs.
You don't wear them anyway. As they come back through, just trying to work out the timings here. So this is Norris into the pits. Problem with the rear, that cost him. So, his front right wasn't on properly. The gun didn't go green. And they invented that feature, and it didn't work. Watch, if you're watching the TV pictures, they changed the front wing, or it might just be obscured actually. Look, the gun does actually go to green. That's weird.
I once turned up at a house in my taxi 15 minutes late.
Hamilton passing Ricciardo into turn 1 and Norris passing Gasly into the Rettifilio.
And the guy went, "Where have you been? You should have been here 15 minutes ago." I says, "Why? What happened?"
Okay, Megan. Nice to have you back in Singapore. Anyway, back on the action as well. Actually, we haven't seen you since Silverstone, so it's actually probably good that you're back.
I'm not back. You forced me into this.
Well, Megan's not here, so... And Tom's busy.
You told me that you would pay Megan's pocket money this week.
And I don't think it was fair on Josh as well, because then I've got to ask him to do IndyCar later on as well, to make him do more work, when he's already done so much of the lead co-commentary this weekend anyway. So yeah, you're here. The good thing about this chair, by the way, with GT Omega, it's got seatbelt handles, so I can just lash him to the chair so he doesn't move. As Danny Ricciardo lets Lando Norris through. I can see him moving out the corner of my eye as well. Lando Norris lets
He's on
Daniel
wheels.
Through. Yeah, it is on wheels.
You can tie me to this chair, but you can't stop me wheeling out of there.
I've got a cable somewhere alongside me. Here we are. Look, there we are. Look, just put that across you. There you go. You can't move now. So that's my headphone cable, actually.
I knew her.
What?
Cable. She went to my school.
I don't know. I've got no response to that. Anyway, back to the action. So Mr. McLaren switched positions. Norris goes ahead of Ricciardo, which I think is pretty much sensible. Norris on soft tyres. Ricciardo's not. Gasly and De Vries battling. De Vries wants to stay in the top 10. He wants to get points. If De Vries, with 15 laps to go, the magic number, you can say it now.
We are 15 laps to go in this race for the championship. Max Verstappen could be too far advanced after this race if he wins it.
De Vries is going for a move at the
Is that how they do it?
Pretty much, yeah.
On NBC.
Yeah, I think our USRN listeners as well would like that, or American attempt.
Well, I enjoy listening to them.
One main USRN as well, not on USRN 2, on USRN, the main one as well, which I can tell you is we've got the end of the US Open as well, coming as well. I think that ended yesterday, didn't it, actually? US Open? Can't remember.
And if you are listening in America, we do know the date, and we have remembered like everybody else.
Yes, fair point as well. Today is the 11th of September as well, 21 years ago. Actually, around about this time, if I think.
Horrible day for America and a horrible day for the world.
Yeah, you can still remember it, can't you? I can just about remember, actually, a little bit. I was very young at the time. But yeah, it is the anniversary today of September 11th, and hopefully everyone is remembering fondly as well everyone who died that day as well, not just in New York, but around the whole of America as well. As the action continues.
And the bravery of people that day as well.
Zhou just going around the outside trying to pass De Vries for 10th place. De Vries desperately wants to hold on to 10th position. I tell you what, though, everyone in America try and lift some spirits up. Logan Sargent as well to get into Formula One took another great leap as well today, so he might just get into Formula One for 2024 as well, and be a reserve driver next year as well at the Williams team. Meantime, the Williams development driver Nick De Vries is running 10th in this race and in points.
Los Capito said that they haven't actually decided who is going to be the second driver next year.
Not Latifi.
But it still could be Latifi.
Well,
but it's doubtful.
Latifi is 14th in this race.
I think Latifi is heading for IndyCar.
Yeah, I don't even think he's fast enough for that, to be fair. What do you think, Josh? Because I think at the moment, De Vries will have that seat.
Jamie is in discussions for Indy Lights.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's doing a test, isn't she, for next year? Yeah. Lawrence Meekis there, who's the Ferrari strategist. So if this strategy fails, Tifosi, you know who to hunt down and
he's not very. He is not very good with his alphabet.
No, is he? He's not. As Magnussen gets lapped by Leclerc, because he thinks that Plan C comes before Plan A. Because we heard Plan C, then we heard Plan A, then we heard Plan C again.
He had Plan E at the last race.
He did. Plan F was in Austria, do you remember? And then the car caught fire, and everyone thought, yeah, it really did.
F is for fire.
F, yeah.
Cool the brakes.
Oh, no.
We're going to retire the cars and cool the brakes.
Oh, it's Stroll's retiring.
We're going to retire the car, cool the brakes and box.
Both Aston Martins retiring from the race. Somebody better check the safety car to make sure that can continue out there as well. It's done a lot of laps today, so better just check it as well. So Lance Stroll retires. It's a double Aston Martin retirement. I hope Fernando Alonso is watching, because right now he's running... Oh, he's out of the race, isn't he? So actually, as well, he's going for one team.
He is watching. He's over there.
Yeah, he's going for one team that can't finish the race to another team he can't finish the race. Not great there.
They do say, though, they're concentrating on next year's car now.
Latifi battling Schumacher at the moment as well. Schumacher will deal with this Gutifi, as they call him as well, with ease. Josh?
Yes, this is Lance Stroll's second technical retirement of the year, and his second retirement of the whole year. His first came in Azerbaijan.
Oh yeah, did he retire in the pit lane, or did he stop on the track? I think he caused a safety car in Azerbaijan, something like that. Anyway,
under controversy, I believe.
Yeah, it was something, wasn't it? Because we were talking about it in the com box at the time. The last time Megan actually wasn't here as well. Actually, the last but one, because she didn't do Hungary, as well as the Latifi goes a little bit wide. And Schumacher's going to have an easy DRS train now down the start-finish straight as well.
This pace is good. This tyre looks very resilient.
Yeah, pace is good. That's fine. Here we go again then. Schumacher's going to have the DRS. Latifi's going to go down to 15th place. Latifi, as Grenwin says as well, is... Oh, and Schumacher locks up into the Rettifilio and still manages to go around the outside with a tremendous move against Latifi. And if that isn't an example of how bad of a driver Latifi is, I don't know what is, considering that Schumacher locked up, went wide, and still managed to go around the outside of him.
He's a lovely lad, and he tries his hardest.
Oh, hang on, Latifi's passed him. Why did Schumacher let him through? Or was that just genuine pace from Latifi? Why did Schumacher look like he backed off there? And now Schumacher's going back. Hang on, he's wanting to recreating what his dad did back in 1998, and he did it. That was bang on what Michael Schumacher did against Mika Häkkinen in 1998. Even the same part of the track, the same car wiggle and everything. I was having flashbacks. Look at this. So Schumacher comes in, locks up at turn one. Did he force the Latifi off the track? No, he didn't. They both kept on. So Latifi shuts the door. Schumacher says, right, okay, I'll get a better exit. And we just cut away as Schumacher goes down the straight as well. And now Latifi's under pressure from Bottas. I was having flashbacks there to 1998. Go on.
Sebastian Vettel fans are quite sad, as that was
De Vries, was that De Vries? De Vries was defending there from Zhou, as well as Bottas passes Latifi into turn one. It's all Alphas and Williamses at the moment.
Little Josh.
Yeah, back to you, Josh.
Yeah, but it really is. But that was Sebastian Vettel's last ever European Grand Prix.
Oh, of course, you're right.
About that, yeah. And here at Monza, of course, when he drove for Ferrari, and he's not going to be there anymore.
Yeah, Vettel has won here 3 times. 2008 with Toro Rosso.
Verstappen's pitting. Is this Perez or Verstappen? Red Bull are getting ready in the pit lane for soft compound tyres. 17 points. Oh, it's Perez.
Perez.
Damn it.
And the massive lock up there
Into turn one again, yeah.
And then Sebastian Vettel won here in
2.7.
2.6.
What is it going to be? Is it ever going to show up? 2.1. Oh, wow, that's quick.
Again.
That's their second 2.1, and their fastest time this season was a 2.1 as well. So they've matched what they did back at Silverstone.
That's insane, yeah. Sebastian Vettel won here 2 times with Red Bull in 2011 and 2013, and then with Toro Rosso, the only Toro Rosso win at Monza in 2008.
I'm just trying to work out how many races Megan hasn't done this year. I think it's 6 now she hasn't done. She didn't do Australia. That's 1. And then she didn't do Australia. She didn't do Azerbaijan. She didn't do Canada. And she didn't do Hungary. Now she hasn't Italy. Oh, that's 5. So she hasn't done 5 races this year, which coincidentally is the maximum number she misses in a year. And this is Perez again. Now, I think that is worse than when Sainz did it. Perez was locked up completely in towards the braking zone. I don't think he hit the speed limit. I'm sure Josh will...
Go on Ferrari, go over to Red Bull and have a look at the tyres.
Yeah, just go over and just have a casual look over the side there as well. Ferrari did it, Red Bull did it to Ferrari. Still, 17.1.
Did you look at the tyre guy from the main engineer from Red Bull was looking to see the inside of the tyre? Was he looking for evidence of burning from that that fire earlier?
Yeah, because it was that wheel, wasn't it? I think you're right. He was trying to see if it burnt anything as well.
Because if it's burnt that bit, it's
burnt the other one.
The inside.
Yeah, and then a brake failure is possible for Perez. Yeah, it looks like he's okay at the moment, but if there's one part of the track and of the season where you don't want a brake failure, it's definitely here at Monza, as Verstappen starts lapping traffic now as well, with Kevin Magnussen getting out of the way.
I will try to last out until the end of the race. But,
as soon as the flag falls, you can go.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
No worries. As soon as the flag thing is 9 laps to go.
Little Josh, I was insane once, but the John Doms, they dragged me out and told me not to swim there.
Oh, Sylvester Stallone is back in now as well.
Yeah, I saw him earlier. He was on the grid walk.
I was hearing Jack Nicholls' commentary, did you?
Yeah.
And for some reason, Williams' garage is on lap 42 and we're on lap 45. So
that was filmed and added in.
Yeah, that's been filmed and added in. Don't try and Connor's farm. We can see what's going on down there.
Yeah, we do that ourselves.
Yeah. For instance, the pre-show this morning, the bit that we filmed to
Don't tell
start
them the
with,
secrets.
Well, it was. The bit that was filmed to start with wasn't even with the correct shirt.
I know, and then there was a bit in the highlights of British touring cars where you actually got it the wrong way round, and the cars went backwards on 2 laps.
Yeah, that was a bit. That was actually back in Brands Hatch, and there's also the time.
Did it really happen? It was a joke.
No, the footage started going backwards when me and Joss were watching it. And
I did that joke because this monitor here in front of us here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, monitor 5. Earlier on, when they were about to do a replay, it reversed.
Yeah. Well, monitor 5 is flipped, but Josh can see it normally.
Yeah.
So that's our backup. We can flip it back, but I don't know how on Discord yet. So we've got 8 to go, and it looks like Ferrari have shot themselves in the foot again.
And you still haven't changed the calendar.
No. I need to get over there.
So
I'll do it later.
For Joe.
Blue flag for Joe and De Vries. So De Vries is P10. If Nick De Vries gets World Championship points,
I'll be happy.
Yeah, I would. Lando says, no comms, please, I'm busy. Okay, Lando, we'll stop talking and just let you do your radio show. Sorry, Lando.
He's doing his dating app as he goes along.
I think he likes to go to McDonald's as well, where he took that supermodel as well.
Oh, yeah. Where do you take a supermodel? McDonald's. It's obviously KFC. Supermodels don't eat a lot.
I thought you were going to say because it's finger-licking good at KFC.
You can't say that.
It's a catchphrase. Anybody else's dirty mind could just take that their way. I don't know. Things that you can get away with.
Megan said to me the other day, have you noticed how many innuendos Joshua comes out with?
How about the last year in Russia when I said as well that when Perez put his hand up as well and was shaking his fist at Lewis Hamilton.
Don't.
I said as well.
Don't.
Why?
You are going out on the radio.
That's a good point. No, well, you can imagine what I accidentally said about Perez doing something to Hamilton whilst on commentary as well in qualifying.
And it is available on catch-up.
Yes, it's on the YouTube catch-up as well.
Now, this is where I want those graphics.
Yeah, because this is De Vries closing in on Gasly for ninth.
Gasly in front, yeah.
Come
and you
on.
think of the experience of Gasly.
Yeah, he's won here. He won here back in 2020. This is where he won his first Grand Prix.
I remember Nick De Vries when he was Belgian.
He's Dutch now, isn't he? He's changed nationality. De Vries is... Ricciardo's off! What's happened to Ricciardo? Ricciardo stopped! Ricciardo was stopped! And
Yellow
De Vries
flag
goes to
in that
ninth!
sector too.
Yeah, and he's in a... What's happened? Ricciardo's got a radio, he stopped!
He's out.
Safety car will have to come out to get this. Maybe a red flag, because that's what we do now. Wow, this is brilliant news, and this is brilliant news for the fight at the front.
Not letting people into what happened earlier in the day, but if we did get a red flag, that would be a red flag in all the major races this morning.
Yes, it would be. And it probably would be a red flag because it's an old school track and they've got to bring a crane onto the track
How
and block
did we
it.
do in Porsche Supercup?
No red flags, but a safety car.
Safety car.
But we don't count Porsche as a thing. Oh, Red Bull are going in.
How dare you?
Well, I don't know. Well, where's the safety car? Where's the virtual? Where's the full? What's going on here? What are they going to do?
Now this is playing by the stewards again.
Yeah, because
the race director. This is last year all over again.
And then look.
Safety car.
And Verstappen's in Dalarosia, and Leclerc's just gone through, and now into the pit lane. I think comes George
Safety
Russell.
car. It's a safety car.
So safety car gets deployed in the Tifosi chair because they know what that means. They know what that means. But what could this mean for George Russell?
Lewis
Who get a free pit stop?
Or George. Are both of them in?
Sainz coming in as well. So they're all going to... Well, Lewis is 30 seconds back. Look, Lewis hasn't even reached here yet.
Yeah.
Lewis is at Parabolica. And here comes Sainz. He changes over. Brand new soft compound tyres. Ferrari might stand a chance here with either Leclerc or Sainz.
Oh, the uproar! If
Sainz wins.
If Sainz wins, the Tifosi, who are back to 320,000 people over the last 3 days, you will hear it in Milan.
And Lando's coming into the pit lane as well. Let's hear from Verstappen.
Can we make a pre-stop?
Yes.
And that's going to force Leclerc's hand. Verstappen is pitting to put on new soft compound tyres, which means that Leclerc has to, but Leclerc's already put softs on. So looking at this, Verstappen has 2 sets of brand new softs left. Leclerc had 2. Leclerc's got another set of softs left. Lando stops 3 seconds.
We do not gain position if we stay out, so stop this lap.
Yeah, so both coming in, that's good news. So they haven't caught the safety car queue either, which was
Leclerc
brilliant.
says that we will not change position.
Yeah, so he's going to come in this lap. So it's brand new soft tyres go out for Verstappen with a 3-second stop, I think. 2.7, okay, so it's the previous one. But in comes Leclerc as well. De Vries has stayed out. De Vries has stayed out. Nick De Vries, I think, leads the Grand Prix. I'm not even kidding. I think De Vries leads. Or is there lap traffic involved? Is there laps involved? Where are they on the board? De Vries is P9. De Vries is in the lead. Well, who's leading the race then? Verstappen still leads. I think they've just got their...
he had a 30-odd second.
Yeah, they've got their lap back. So Verstappen leads, but De Vries and that lot are now taking their lap back. Sonoda pits. Leclerc has a 2.3 second stop. He puts on his second set of brand new soft compound tyres as well.
De Vries is in 9th on mediums.
Well, he's now caught. He's going to have another pit stop because you've got to get
You're
Verstappen.
looking at the driver tracker rather than the actual
timings. Yeah, so De Vries is 9th.
But all the top 7 are now on softs.
Yes. And Gasly and De Vries have to pit now. So everyone from Gasly below haven't yet come to the pit lane. That's right, because look, Norris was one of the first to stop.
We have what you call an Abu Dhabi.
Well, this will be a red flag.
A one-lap shootout, maybe a 2-lap shootout.
Well, they can't get rid of Ricciardo's car. It's stuck.
Why haven't they got a crane there?
Well, this will be a red flag then. We're running out of laps here. We're running out of laps. We're going to have to red flag it and go for a restart.
4.5 laps to go.
And it's a 1 lap at the pits for a 2-lap restart like in Baku. So it's this lap. They have to red flag it now.
I don't think they're going to.
No, I don't. What are they going to do? Are they going to red flag? Are we going to go behind the safety car to the end? Is Verstappen the winner? What's going to happen?
And no Red Bull will be onto the...
they're not allowed now, are they?
In-between person.
Herbie Blash.
car.
Are you sure?
That's Lando.
And Herbie will be going.
I can have a safety car.
Herbie will be picking up the phone and going.
Is it green light on top?
Yeah.
I am not
There's a
available
yellow
at this
light on
time.
And the driver track has crashed. Well, one driver track has crashed. We're going to try and get it back repairing, but it's actually crashed, trying to work out where everybody is. So the safety car is out at the moment as well. I'm not anticipating this. Well, 4 laps to go. So let me get this straight. If we red flag this lap,
As I say, we're going to have a 1, maybe 2 lap shootout as the safety car comes in. But at the moment, that McLaren is locked in gear by the look of it.
Yeah, let's hear from Verstappen.
So tyre update.
So Leclerc pitted for a scrub soft. Russell has also pitted for a scrub soft. Sainz for a new soft.
So Sainz is a new... Okay, so...
I need to know the tyre situation.
We're trying to get the graphics back operational. So, okay, let's get this straight. This lap red flag. That'll take us down to 3 to go. 1 in the pits.
A little wry smile from
2 laps to go. Yeah.
From Binotto there.
Well, he knows that they could win this.
He knows that this is a winnable situation.
Our driver tracker up in the comms box is completely frozen at the moment. So while we try and get it back to you as well, we're under safety car and they can't move it. This will have to be a red flag, Dad. I can't see another way around it. This has to go red flag.
They have to red flag it.
And they have people on the track. If someone has a suspension failure now, and hits that car, it could really hurt or kill those marshals. You've got to. I know it's near the end of the race, and I know that the last guy had big problems after getting it wrong.
I can catch up.
But stop looking at the rules
you can catch up.
and red flag this.
8 now.
I'll tell you this now. We've gone past the point where we can red flag.
So the race would finish as it is now.
Yeah, behind the safety car. We've gone past the point where the red flag can legally come out, and now they've got a tractor.
We have a digger on the track.
So 1 lap sprint.
And it's a Merlin, a Merlotto.
Yeah, but hang on. Bottas, Tsunoda, Latifi, Magnussen, all lapped.
Just look at people who love designs of things. That Merlotto it's such a sleek-looking vehicle.
Well, we've got a temporary driver tracker in situ.
Don't like the colour, but...
No, I don't. Yeah, we've got a temporary driver tracker in situ as well as... Nearly show the race. As trying to find the right button here. So
well, it's no good in situ. It needs to be here now. Get it in a taxi and get it here now.
Yeah, apologies for this as well as we try and work out what's going to happen with the race as well. As
Christian's not happy with that. I don't blame you, Christian. I've seen that look before on Christian. He's thinking, what are they doing? Having a digger even behind the safety car on a narrow track.
They're letting the lap cars go through.
Yes. Yeah.
So they haven't even picked up the race leader yet. Oh, this is a...
As predicted, a 1, maybe 2 lap shootout.
So,
and for all
that's
those
Max.
people in Australia, it's cowboy time.
How much did they let through? They've let so many through.
A 1 lap shootout.
All lapped cars have now gone through. So it's going to be a 1 lap shootout to decide the Italian Grand Prix. Well, everybody, you said about Abu Dhabi.
I read the wrong line there. For all those in Australia, it's a Bush Tucker trial.
Yeah. Verstappen, hang on. Why is Gasly and De Vries still in the way of Leclerc and Verstappen? Why is that? Why haven't they gone through? They're not in position of the leaders.
He's the looking worried Mr. Ferrari chairman, isn't he?
Well, yeah, because look, Leclerc's 4 cars
Isn't
back.
he American?
Yeah.
Charles Altman.
Look. 1, 2. We've got Zhou and Gasly, is it? Or is it Bottas and Tsunoda? Who are lapped. Why haven't they been allowed to pass the safety car? Lapped cars should have been allowed to overtake. This is a mess.
We are having a 1 lap shootout.
Josh, can you just confirm to me that we're still on YouTube? Because I've lost pictures up here in the box.
Yeah, we're good. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, I lost pictures. So, what is it with Abu Dhabi's as well?
It's the safety car should be. Its lights are still flashing. So,
yeah.
What are they going to do?
Well, is it going to end in the safety car? Is it going to come in this lap? We've got no information from race control. If Ricciardo's car's gone, then we can restart. But this is just turning into an absolute mess. And Leclerc,
you've got to get the other's chance to get round to a certain point, and then you can turn the flashing light off on the safety car.
Car's gone. What have you seen, Josh?
Verstappen's at Les mode 2, and all of the other cars are just following going into turn 1. So it is not going to work out.
So they can't come in. We'll get told. Now, safety car line 1 is at the exit of the Parabolica. Are we going to have the situation where this race will end green flag or behind the safety car? Because we've got Bottas, so we've got Bottas and Sonoda.
At the moment, everybody should be looking at the lights on the safety car.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
If the middle section is flashing still, they are
still
going
flashing.
to finish under a safety car.
So we're still waiting for the lap cars to get released, and then it would be the lap after. So
which is this one.
Like this could restart at the moment.
Well, this is not good. If the FIA are seen to interfere in a Ferrari victory, my God, will this erupt? Let's hear. They're stealing the race.
Finish the race behind the
It's clear, come on.
Yeah, copy.
Yeah.
And this is Lewis Hamilton and Michael Masi from last year. This is the reason for it. We're crossing the line to start lap 53 of 53, and it is behind. And listen to this. Listen to the boos. Listen to the boos in the background. Max Verstappen is going to win in Monza when Ferrari had an opportunity. Ferrari's own strategy has cost them again earlier on. And they had an open goal to win Monza, and they've lost it.
But get another podium for George.
Giacomo Agostini, the motorcycle legend as well.
He's going to be the guy doing the flag.
And the safety car is coming in this lap. See, it's the rule.
Turns up quite a few of the MotoGP races, especially the Italian race a few weeks ago.
It's this stupid rule that it's the following lap. That's cost us. Listen to the fans. Listen to the
Now
boos.
the Italian fans know how we felt last year.
Final lap. Mattia Binotto, I think, knows he's just been fired, don't you?
No, I don't think it's not his fault.
Well, the strategist is certainly fired. Then again, who do you replace Binotto with? Either way, this is not good news. This is a very bad ending for Italian Grand Prix. Ferrari had a shot at victory, and the FIA have interfered again. They didn't throw the red flag. They took over a lap to throw the safety car for a clear situation, and we've lost our timing, and now they're back. But this is another dark day. Safety car lights are off. We're going to go racing again.
It's not Max's fault.
It's not, but he's
Red Bull's fault.
But once again, he's a beneficiary of these mistakes.
Yeah, well,
it's the FIA that are accountable, not Max Verstappen. Let's get that straight. This is not Max Verstappen's fault. This is Ferrari's fault. All Red Bulls. No, this is Ferrari's fault for their own strategy department failing, and the FIA once again making more and more mistakes. But either way, for the first time. I
think it wasn't a mistake. It was just a late call.
For the first time since 2014's Grand Prix at Canada, the race ends behind the safety car. Max Verstappen is 5 races in a row, and he wins the Italian Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc is second for Ferrari. George Russell is third for Mercedes. Carlos Sainz fights back to fourth. Lewis Hamilton to fifth. But the FIA interfere once again.
Nick de Vries gets points.
Yes! Gets in there, Nick de Vries! He gets points for Williams!
Finishes 9th with Zoe in 10th.
And Zhou gets first points for a long, long time. That's Zhou's first points since Canada. Since Canada.
Perez is just relieved to finish.
Yeah, in 6th with the fastest lap as well. Max Verstappen, his 31st career win. We'll hear from him as well, but the safety car is still out. The race ended behind the safety car. Let's hear from Max.
Very lovely, mate.
You go.
Great race that again, and you won your own Grand Prix.
Well done, Max. That's you deserve that victory. It's a shame you didn't get going at the end there, but you were the fastest car all weekend, so well done.
Listen to this, America, and yo, the rest of the world, listen. Boos. What do you reckon, Josh? That is a bitter taste. The FIA interfere again.
I will enjoy what's in the internet's best reactions tonight. I definitely will, but this is the first time since 2017/2018 that there has been a back-to-back duplicate winner.
Oh, yeah.
At Monza, and Leclerc, if he had stayed out, there would have been more of a chance. Let's hear from him.
6 races in a row.
You've done a good job. It managed the tyres really well.
Austria, France, Hungary, Belgium, Netherlands, Italy. 6 races in a row for Max Verstappen. With victory here today, he gets his first chance to clinch the championship at Singapore if Leclerc scores absolutely no points. But I think everybody is thinking the same thing.
He deserved the win today. Well done.
Very lovely, mate.
That's
Great
Max
race
on the radio.
again. And
should we hear from Nick de Vries? Nick de Vries scores points and is driver of the day.
There you go, boy. Clean out.
Wow. Thank you very much. This has been incredible. Points on debut. Thank you.
Great job.
Nick de Vries.
Fantastic. You're so much deserving.
Thank you, Jost. Thank you. Much appreciated. My shoulders are dead. Dead.
Nick de Vries, we bow. We bow. Well done. Round of applause. Driver of the day, and rightly so. Stepped into the car, had 20 minutes practice, out-qualified Latifi, and then, on debut, scores points, which means in the championship, he goes ahead of Latifi in the championship. Latifi with no points from 16 rounds. 1 race for Latifi, well, 1 race for de Vries, and he's got points. Albon's got 4. Two now for de Vries. Latifi's got none, and Latifi's the permanent driver. Dude, he finished 15th and he qualified in 10th. Latifi, I would be surprised if Latifi is in the car in Singapore, to be fair. I think de Vries has just got himself a permanent job, starting from next time out. Wow. So, triple header done, Josh. How are you feeling? I'm a bit tired myself.
At least getting out there.
If
Radio, go on, Josh.
If Latifi is not out by the end of the season, what is Williams doing? Ferrari's strategy once again plays a part. The FIA once again plays a part in the race, and there's going to be a lot of raids on F1 Twitter tonight. And I'm going to go have a look at F1 Twitter, and I might not survive.
If Matt Gallagher's anywhere nearby, just hide. That's pretty much all I can say as well. Oh my goodness me. What a bizarre race we've had. There's our driver tracker back, finally, as well. If I just turn off this one as well. There we go. Now it works at the end of the race. But luckily, the safety car came out. Nobody changed positions as well. So, confirm the running order. Verstappen, Leclerc, Russell, top 3. Sainz 4th, Hamilton 5th, Perez 6th, Norris 7th, Gasly 8th, de Vries on debut 9th and gets 2 points. Zhou is 10th, Ocon 11th, Schumacher 12th, Bottas 13th, Tsunoda 14th, Latifi 15th, Magnussen is 16th, 17th Ricciardo, 18th Stroll, 19th Alonso, and 20th for Vettel as well. Let's hear then from the top 3. They'll be speaking with Martin Brundle as well as Leclerc comes in. Could have been a race win, should have been a race win for Leclerc here today. Ferrari's strategy cost them again, pitting onto the virtual safety car. We thought it was a good idea at the time. Vastly decided it wasn't, but we can make those mistakes. We're not multi-millionaires who are paid to do the job. Let's go now to Martin Brundle. And the 6th win of the year in a row, 6th win in a row for Max Verstappen. his 11th win of the season.
Verstappen with him.
Max, congratulations, your 5th consecutive victory, your 31st in Formula One.
Oh, this is the
You are
boost.
unstoppable at the moment.
Yeah, we had a great race, you know. On every compound we were quickest, and the deck was very good, so we had a really good race car. And yeah, basically we're just controlling the gap at the end. Of course, then the safety car came out. Unfortunately, we didn't get a restart, but overall, yeah, we had again a really good day.
Take us through the early laps. You've made up 6 places overall in the race, and some of them quite quickly.
Yeah, start was very good. I had a clean chicane, and then I could quickly, you know, get back into my rhythm and get into second. And yeah, we just, you know, it was really good on the tires. It was really enjoyable to drive today, even though it was quite hot out there. But yeah, great day for us.
Well, remarkably, it's going to be your first time up on this glorious podium.
Yeah, it took a bit of time.
And so do I.
Oh, well done.
Charles, second place, a bit frustrating for you, and particularly at the end, I think you were keen to, clearly, as many people, to go racing again.
Yeah, I mean, the end was frustrating. I wish we could have ended up racing, but this is, unfortunately, that we were second at that place now, so because of what happened before. So it's a shame, but overall, I gave it all P2 today. I wish I could have won in front of the amazing tifosi we have here, but yeah, I just cooled them today.
You made the early stop under the virtual safety car. Was that just to do something different to Red Bull to cover off their pace?
Well, to be honest, we didn't know what they were going to do behind, so we took that choice.
Yeah, and you were happy with that?
Well, obviously we finished P2, so I'm not extremely happy with the race, but yeah, we'll work on that.
And where can you go from here? Where can you find the extra speed needed for the rest of the season?
I don't know. I think the pace was quite strong today. We'll have to look into it, but I think we were quite strong, but it's just, yeah, wasn't enough. Però sì, grazie a tutti per il sostegno, è sempre incredibile qua a Monza, e sì, peccato per il secondo posto, però abbiamo dato tutto e grazie di tutto.
Thanks, Charles.
Yeah.
Let's hear from George Russell.
Congratulations, yet another podium for you, and a really solid drive. You must be really satisfied with that.
Yeah, thank you. I think I said on the radio to the team, it doesn't matter if we're fast or slow, we keep getting these podiums, and unfortunately this weekend we definitely weren't where we wanted to be as a team, but nevertheless we can look back on these 3 races, 2 podiums and a P4. It's we've got to be satisfied with that.
Yeah, you put the hard tyres on and somehow you made them work. They weren't ideal today.
No, I mean, we had to do something different if we wanted to fight with Max and Charles, but unfortunately they were just too quick for us today. I'm pleased that we tried something. That's what we have to do in the position we are at the moment.
You're proudly wearing the Union flag. Of course, it's been a time of great sadness and reflection back in the UK and all around the world, indeed, after the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Yeah, absolutely. Incredibly sad time around the world and for the British people, but what a life, and a life that should be celebrated.
Well said, and well done, and enjoy this podium.
Thank you very much.
The top 3 out there as well.
No.
Watch, Josh.
No. 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 Turn 3 incident involving De Vries and Zoe noted driving erratically. Don't even dare, FIA.
Show and De Vries. They're 9th and 10th, that'll be fine.
Don't even dare.
Who was driving erratically, though? Who they scheduled down as doing it?
I believe it was I don't know. But just don't even start, please.
I agree. Don't even bother.
FIA.
So, there we go.
And Awasa has been disqualified from the F2 Formula 2 feats race.
Oh, so he's off the podium. There's the checker flag moment once again, happening on the circuit. Nice to see it as always. What a bizarre day. And a bizarre weekend comes to a close here in Monza. 2-week break for Formula 1 before we get back. I'll stand up as we see a replay of Verstappen coming into the pits. But yes, let's see. Gwenmin says, so just for anyone melting down after if Max wins, the stewards has been let down the whole weekend, and before the safety car, Leclerc was 17 seconds behind with 10 to go. That's not good luck. No, it's not. It's not Verstappen, as I said before the checker flag, it's not Verstappen's fault, it's not Red Bull's fault, it's the FIA once again interfering in the race in the wrong way. The safety car being deployed a lap later than it needed to be, with a car stranded, and also picking up the wrong people, meaning, and with the pit stops as well. It just got so confusing. Except for the cool down room. We are not ended, the button went wrong. We're not ended, the button went wrong. Here's a cool down.
Soft medium at dinner. Was it? Was it hungry? I think a giant intake was quite low. Double overtake. It's a bit tough. Too many sponsors in the
Nice, we're hearing from them as well. Down the board as well as we get ready for the podium. So yeah, Martin was wrong. It's his 6th race win in a row. Austria, France, Hungary, Belgium, Netherlands, Italy. That's 6 on the board as well. He won, of course, Saudi Arabia, in Emilia-Romagna, in Miami. He won in Spain. He then won in Azerbaijan, he won in Canada, he won Austria, he won France, he won Hungary, he won Belgium and Netherlands, and now he's won Italy as well. It's his 12th win of the year. In 16 races that's happened in 2022, 12 of them have been won by Max Verstappen. That's how insane this championship is. And if anybody says, oh, but it's not a domination, Ferrari says, no, this is a domination effect. I guess you know who's walked onto the podium now. Charles Leclerc in 2nd. The Tifosi go mad. It's still a Ferrari on the podium, they'll take it. And now Max Verstappen will come on and listen to the boos. That's not right. That's absolutely not right. We will hear the official national anthem of Formula One, it seems, for the 12th time this year. It's the Dutch national anthem. And now the Austrian national anthems of Formula One just playing out there as well. I think we can all agree that I think Max Verstappen is about to be booed very heavily. Take a listen. Up goes the trophy for Max. He wins the Italian Grand Prix. He's one step closer to being world champion in 2022. And Little Owl says, for anyone asking for a red flag, there was no reason to. I did say about a possible red flag if there was 5 to go, and they couldn't get the car back, which is why I thought they might red flag it, because it is supposed to end under green, but this one ended under a safety car, which is not the way it's written in the rules. After what happened last year with Michael Masi, we shouldn't have ended the race under the safety car. We should have gone green with 2 to go, not 1 to go. That's a very strange situation. There you go, it happened again. Listen to the crowd. For Charles Leclerc in second. A big eruption of emotion. Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, his 30th win, his 73rd podium. Charles Leclerc, his 20th career podium. George Russell, podium number 8 of his Formula 1 career. And now, in Monza, it's champagne time! Up goes the Carmen, if you can hear it. Over he goes on the world feed. Such a special atmosphere here in Monza. The sea of red, but it's the yellow that couldn't pay off. An own strategy error cost them here today. Max Verstappen and Red Bull started 7th. Everybody knew they were going to win. 6 races running now. Max Verstappen has taken victory. 6 races. It's his 12th win of the season. He is close to being crowned world champion here in 2022. Red Bull take victory number 84 on their 225th career podium. Formula 1 completes a triple header. Now we go for a 2-week break. When we return, we will be at the most demanding circuit on the calendar. It's tight, it's twisty, it's the hottest race of the year. We're in Singapore at Marina Bay. Well then, that's in 2 weeks' time, Josh, as well. Tonight we've got the Firestone Grand Prix of Monterey. You can listen to that on USRN2 as well. We will also be on the YouTube channel as well, calling that as well. Megan will join us in the box. 2 weeks' time as well, you can join us for Formula 1 Singapore Grand Prix. We'll be back on USRN as well, on the YouTube streams here as well for practice, qualifying, and the race itself as well. Next weekend on the YouTube channel as well for Josh Birch Motorsport Journalist, we've got the MotoGP MotoGP Grand Prix of Aragon. But September 30th to the 2nd of October, we're back in Singapore for what is going to be a great, great race. It always goes 2 hours. We always have a safety car. It's going to be a classic as well. Josh, your moments, please, from the race before we pack up and get ready to go again for the Grand Prix review coming out shortly. What's been your moment of the race?
Probably the Freeze getting points, but when the national anthem was going, the amount of flares and smoke bombs which were going off, Russell literally grabbed his hat and was going like that around him to get the smoke away from him because it was insane.
Well, thanks.
But, yes, as you said, you can join us later for IndyCar.
Another championship to be crowned. Join us later on. My thanks to everyone on USRN for joining us today as well. My thanks to everyone on the YouTube chat as well. We've had 2 champions crowned here. We'll be back, though, in just 15 minutes' time. You can join us 4 o'clock on the YouTube channel. Joshua Birch, Motorsport Journalist, tag down on YouTube as well. We'll be back for the Grand Prix review, analysing everything that's happened as well. Thanks for your company. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.